just wanted to see if this one would work.
All right.
I call this City Commission Budget Workshop of Monday, August the 7th, 2023 to order at 5:12 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Vice Mayor Mervin, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, God, we come before you today, thanking you and praising you for another day. Father God, as we come together today, oh God, let us have light minds, oh God, to do the business of our city, oh God. God, we pray for your direction, we pray for your leading, oh God. Bless us, I pray, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
Commissioner Bolden,
Present.
Commissioner Gonzalez, Commissioner Perez, City Manager,
Here.
Attorney Shan Bryant Abney, here. Deputy City Clerk is present.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and thank each of our listening audience for being here to participate in our budget workshop. At this time, I turn this portion over to our City Manager to guide us in the budget discussion.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, staff, and citizens of Pahokee. Wanted to start our budget workshop as you see on the screen, and also have the pack provided for you. My name's Rodney Lucas, City Manager, City of Pahokee. We're proposing the 23-24 budget summary, factors, financial updates, closing remarks. Next. Budget rationale. Improve city services, improve quality of life for residents and businesses, provide a fiscally prudent budget, a balanced FYI 23-24 proposed budget. Critical dates. Next dates up, September 7th, budget workshop and planning meeting, 5 p.m. September 12th, first hearing for tentative millage rate and budget at 6 p.m. September 26th, second hearing for the final millage rate and budget, 6 p.m. October 1, the fiscal year 23-24 adopted budget becomes effective. Next. City proposing. No millage increase. Current millage is 6.5419. Assessed value increased 5.83 from rollback rate of 8.7307 mills. Next. All right, we're going to go over the general fund proposed budget and the percentage of what it is of the budget. We're looking at general fund being $5,570,676, 62% of the budget. Henderson Endowment Fund, proposed budget is $15,700, percentage of budget 0. Special Reserve Fund, $480,000, 5%. ARPA Fund, $1,115,000, even, 12%. Capital Project Fund, $1,200,000, 13%. Marina Campground Fund, these are getting into the enterprise funds here, $386,099, that's 4%. And Cemetery Fund, $269,179, 3%, for a total of $9,036,654, coming to a total of 100%. Next slide. So you can see the relationships. The graph shows that 6 million at the top, and what the general fund is, what the Henderson Fund is of budget, special reserve fund, ARPA, capital project fund, Marina, and so forth, cemetery fund. Next. General fund budget. Our current budget, general fund for fiscal year 23-24, revenues $5,570,676. Expenditures, in order to balance out, is $5,570,676. This includes 3.5% COLA, 2.5 merit, increase in health care costs, increase in insurance premium, increase in operation cost. Next page. General fund by revenues. Ad valorem taxes, $732,563, or 13%. Sale.
565.
Sorry.
You said 565.
Sorry, 732,565. Thank you. Sales tax, I just seen if y'all were awake. Sales tax, 1,323,000 even, 24%. Franchise fees, 465,000, 8%. Utility taxes, 368,500. License and permits, 137,700, 2%. Intergovernmental revenues, 855,700, that's 5%. Fine,
15%.
15%.
Your glasses.
Fines and forfeitures, 84,000, 2%. Charges for services, 755,870, 14%. Interest earning and rents, 129,155, 2%. Miscellaneous revenues, 63,658, 1%. Appropriated fund balance, 655,528, 12%. For a total of 5,576,76. Next slide. The slide just the graph showing the breakdown of those things. Next slide. The general fund expenditures by departments. Commission, the proposed budget for 23-24 is $203,297. City manager department, $377,892. City clerk, $229,345. Finance and administration, $405,802. Human resources, $75,578. IT, $40,000. Legal, $100,000. Comprehensive planning, $15,250. Police department, PBSO, $599,940. Protective inspections, building, planning and zoning, $305,674. Roads and streets, $1,413,863. Community and economic development, $231,498. Recreation department, $733,423. Recreation department, Palm Beach County, $172,756. Parks, $48,266. Non-departmental, $362,391. And transfers, $255,692. Totaling expenditures of $5,570,676. The next slide is the graphs just showing the breakdown of those expenditures by department. Now, the next slide is a breakdown of the personnel services costs, operating costs, and capital outlay. Here you have city commission, personnel service costs $58,497, operating costs $144,800 for a total of $203,297. City manager, personnel service cost is $260,948, operating costs of $116,944 for a total of $377,892. City clerk, $143,070, operating costs $76,275, capital outlay $10,000 for a total of $229,345. Finance, $301,887, cost $103,915 for a total of $405,802. Human resources, $52,938, operating cost $22,649 for a total of $75,587. Protective inspections, $218,124. Operating costs $87,550 for a total of $305,674. Roads and streets for personnel, $603,305. The operating cost is $794,803. Capital outlay $15,755 for a total of $1,413,863. Community and economic development, $148,398 for personnel. Operating costs $83,100 for a total of $231,498. Recreation department, $308,127. Operating costs $425,296 for a total of $733,423. Recreation department, Palm Beach County, $141,956. Operating costs $30,800 for a total of $172,756. Parks department, there's no personnel cost there, but there's operating cost of $48,266, and that's the total as well. Non-departmental, $618,083 as far as operating costs. That total is the same. IT is $40,000, and it's the same. Legal counsel is $100,000. Total is the same. Comprehensive planning is $15,250, and it's the same. And then PBSO $599,940, and the debt balance is the same. Next screen shows the graph breaking down everything there. I'll stop here at why do expenditures increase. See if there's any questions of the commission.
I have just a couple. Which one of these includes our surtax dollars? And how much is surtax?
I think surtax would be, okay, it's the next one after this, and it'll break down the projects too. So on slides 16, you'll see it was just right after this, and 17.
But does it give us the total of what's in surtax? How much? 480,000. 80.
Joseph, excuse me.
Yeah, come, yeah.
Come up to the mic, sir.
If you go to page 6, the special revenue funds,
Okay,
yeah, it's 5%.
that's
right.
surtax.
Right.
Oh, okay, that's why, okay.
Page 6, yep.
Okay, under departments, I forgot what pages are. Okay, under departments with the 405 first under the finance and administrator, that includes,
Which
Well, like-
page is that?
I'm sorry, page 11,
11? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That includes how many? I know we have how many in,
Basically, it's 4.
okay.
Uh,
So that 400, that's split between the 4,
Right. Myself, Glennie, Connie, and Ollie.
okay. City managers on, that's you and the assistant city manager, I know, hers, I know some is split.
Yeah, it's half of Miss Adams and half of the city clerk, Nylene.
Okay, roads and streets, the 1,413,863. Does that include garbage? Is that all in,
That's-
cause I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's all included. It includes the waste, yeah, the waste.
What is the waste, a year for the waste? Like, what is, I know it's like 5 something
Yeah,
for.
530 or 510 or
I
something.
don't think there's an increase of, I think it's around 42,000 a month, so let me
Yeah,
calculate.
that's okay. I just wanted the basic of the, cause I know those two take pretty much of the budget.
Yeah,
The
if you look
PVSO
at-
and,
Yeah, it's reflected in the visual on page 12. You see it's the highest point.
oh, that's it, the 1,413,863. Okay. That's roads, streets, that's trash collection,
Right. That's it includes everything. That's the total. But the
public works also? That's what I'm saying, that's,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. So the public works department, the public works department, your trash collection,
right, the waste management.
waste management, okay, okay.
Yeah, so 42,000 times 12 is like 504,
That's year, what they
Mhm.
get, okay,
504,000.
okay.
I have a question about human resources. That's 75,587. I think at some point we need to. I'm sorry. Human resources, the 75,587. I think at some point we may need to look at that so that we can actually get maybe a high level 1 or level 2 human resources person. Probably need to try to be a bit more competitive.
If you look at page 13, the human resource, the personal cost is at 52,000 because it's half of Carlos's salary
Okay.
because it's split between HR and public work.
But at some point it won't be.
Right,
So-
right.
So what would be the, if there were, if you had a human resource body, like that's all, what would be, that's the salary would be 52? Like
No,
what would be the?
there will be a reallocation of that amount from the half of that amount from the public work transferred to the human resource to increase it. Because half of it is split in 2.
Right now, it is, I know
Right.
because of Carlos there,
Correct.
but if you had the person just human resource body, what would their salary be? Pretty much, what is the range of their salary? 52, 60, 75, what is the human resource?
I think it's
salary?
80.
Level
80.
1, level 2, you're looking at least 80.
Okay,
Mhm.
like 80,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay. The city commission, which you have, what was it? They told you got 58. That consists of travel, that consists of their
The benefits.
monthly
It's-
stipend.
Yeah, that includes the benefits and insurance and.
Okay, 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 okay. That's all I have.
Going back to the slide there, why do expenditures increase? Inflation, technology concerns, recession, demands for services, energy and fuel, supply chain issues, property insurance issues. The above events could drive the economy into recession, resulting in reduced tax revenues. Next slide, surtax. Rehabilitation, renovations of city facilities in accordance with section 212.055. Capital expenditures are fixed capital outlays associated with construction, reconstruction, or improvement. Broadband, fiber optics, which runs at the Marina and the sports complex with wireless access points. Parks and Recs, recreations campus improvement, sidewalk replacement and construction, recreational commissioners park, cemetery. Next, on this page you have the 22-23 project improvement status, highlights and accomplishments. Barfield Highway reconstruction, FDOT, the status is at 94.4% completion. It was awarded $4.5 million. Estimated completion is March 2024. Eastlake Village Stormwater Improvement, FDEP, is at 95.5%. It was awarded $750,000 for the award, and it's slated for August of this year to be complete. Commissioners Park splash pad repairs, surtax, 80% completion, $30,000, August 23. Marina campground improvement, surtax, 5%, being completed, $350,000, September 24. MLK Park renovations, FDOT, less than 1%, $250,000 awarded amount, slated for December of 2024 to be completed. McClure reconstruction, FDOT, is at half of 1%. And that's awarded $933,943. And the completion date, estimated completion date is June of 2025. Public Works small equipment maintenance surtax, 80%, $5,500, September of 2023 to be completed. Cemetery small equipment maintenance, 100% based on $1,000, August 2023. Sidewalks, Begonia Drive, surtax, 100% complete. Budget was $100,000. Was completed March of 2023. Demolition, project 647, Begonia, the old house, was SWA, 100% completed. Budgeted $80,500. March 23, completed. Next. Capital improvement projects. So here you see pretty much the information for what it was done, where it was done at. So you got FDOT Barfield Highway reconstruction slated for substantial completion by March of 2024. Resurfacing project Phase 4, that's East MLK Road, West 5th Street, West 2nd Street, West 3rd Street. FDOT McClure Road reconstruction project, South Lake to Palm Road to Ricky Jackson Boulevard. Stormwater drain improvement Phase 1, sidewalks, walkways improvements, remainder of Phase 1, FDEP MLK Park improvement project, Parks and Rec building repairs and improvements, Marina campground improvement project, repairs to the Marina boat docks D, E, and F, LED lighting, security, fencing, electrical. Entryway sign East Main Street from East Canal Point and 7th, South Lake. Cemetery upgrades, IT software, small equipment, building renovations, and then informational technology, IT, equipment, internet, hardware. Those are some of the things that are proposed. Next slide. ARPA, fiscal year 2023-24, $1,115,000. Improve service delivery and proactively support capital replacement to reduce burden on capital budget in future years. Marina campground complex restoration, upgrades, infrastructure improvements, homeowner housing assistance programs, rehabilitation, renovations, and remediation. Financial updates. City Commission action, ARPA Fund 22-23 need to amend the budget for fiscal year 23 to reflect the following items: infrastructure improvements, business recruiting and retention, infill and housing rehabilitation and improvements, residential assistance, behavioral mental health assistance, small business development. And that brings us to questions or comments and recommendations.
The entryway sign, that's for proposed, that's a proposal. We don't have it, but that's for, you're looking at putting entryway signs at Canal Point.
Yes.
What's the other one? Canal Point? 7th Street. That's 7th Street. Where's 7th Street? That's by where the Ricky Jackson sign at now? No, that's considered,
That's South Lake and
oh, okay.
over by
Oh,
the
I know
mall.
it. Okay. I got it.
Mayor, you wanted the new sign more towards Canal Point, right?
I just wanted to make sure they was on each of the main entries. We got 5 primary entries in Pahokee. We already covered Bacon Point coming into that, so it would be Canal Point, main, whatever that road is. But all 4 of the entries, I know it's not going to be done at one time, but the next one should be maybe the entrance coming from Canal Point Way. That's the most, I think, the second most traveled road coming into Pahokee.
This workshop open for comments, just only you?
We'll be able to allow a citizen comment once we have commission comments. We can do that if needed. At this time, do the commission have any additional comments on it? I'd just like to see a breakdown of the salary of each of the employees and whether or not there are proposed raises in this budget, and what would that be like? And thirdly, whether or not we're able to efficiently maintain those salaries. I know we was at the beginning of last budget, we had positioned ourselves to have at least 50 employees. We felt that was a need. I think at some point you mentioned that we was on a scale back on that, and I made the comment that we wanted to make sure that the commission basically was in concurrent with that. For instance, the grant resource person, that was part of the budget. That position has never been filled. So I just want to make sure that we're not getting ourselves in a position where we can't maintain those salaries and have to lay folks off down the road. And the breakdown of these on the budget, I can't tell who's getting paid what. You know, it's just for a matter of our record that we need to really know that and how it's been broken down. Okay. If the commission don't have an objection, I would like to at least have residents who are here to ask a question if they have one, if we do have the time left to do that. Okay. We'll take a question from any residents if you have one.
Yeah, my question is,
On the order.
nobody ever mentioned,
Uh,
Sorry. Yes.
Go to the mic there.
yeah, well, it's not really a question, but nobody ever mentioned it. But I told the family that I'm gonna mention this, and then it should be mentioned by you all. Because like we say, it was easy to put pictures on the wall. You understand what I'm saying? But Diane Walker been gone a minute. And they've been said they're gonna put a bench up at the park, I think, for Diane Walker. Y'all done heard that part? Anybody heard that part?
Mhm.
And don't y'all think it's about time? Cause we mentioned in the signs that gonna go up on, that what made me think about it. We mentioned the signs, and that's a great idea. But the little things like a little bench, and then we had to mention a bench about pressures on that corner. Some of them things ought to happen where somebody come to town and say, look at it, he is doing something for in the community. But I know the Walker family, I know they'll appreciate that very much. Would y'all understand what I'm saying? Would y'all consider? We ain't got to go get all the benches, the biggest bench and the best bench in the world, but a bench dedicated to it.
If I can say, I know from the last city manager, what was his name? Greg Thompson.
Yes.
We voted to do a memorial bench for Ms. Walker out
Yes.
at the Commission Park.
Yes.
And it was a couple things, I think even the naming of the little signs for Anquan that put the benches out to the park, football field. But I think we brought it up, but yeah, I can concur with that about the bench because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think I had made the motion that we would do a bench for Ms. Walker out of the park,
Yes.
Commission Park. So hopefully, and I think Ms. Peggy Boulay brought it up once before when they were talking about benches,
Cause being a commissioner, I
that
think
it should be done.
being
So,
a commissioner, I think that would help with the people that voted for that. People that voted for, the citizens that voted for her when she was a commissioner, I know they'll be looking forward to something like that. I know they'll thank the commission for doing something. Cause if any one of y'all, if something happened to any one of y'all, I'll be standing up here and doing the same thing. It ain't no secret. Because y'all doing something that, you know, it ain't ordinary, it's extraordinary. So she was extraordinary. That's why I spoke on that.
Thank you.
I don't think that should be hard to do.
Any other residents who have a comment they'd like to make? Okay. Okay. We're in the comment section for citizen. Any? No, this is a workshop for the budget, yeah. Just, okay. Any last minute comments, city manager?
No, sir.
Having all business taken care of towards the budget, I'll adjourn our budget workshop. We'll reconvene for our regular city commission meeting at 6 o'clock. Okay.
them, God, to do what you would have us to do in the name of Jesus. And help us as citizens to understand what is right in the sight of the Lord. God, we thank you for this day and bless this meeting tonight, God. Help us to have understanding and peace with each other. Because when we leave here, God, we got to live with ourselves. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray for it all. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Present.
Commissioner Bolden,
Present.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Present.
Commissioner Perez, City Manager,
Here.
Attorney Abney. Here. Deputy Clerk is present.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff. And most importantly, thank our listening audience, either present or by social media. We thank you for your presence to participate in our meeting of tonight. At this time, we would ask the city manager, is there any additions to the agenda?
No, sir.
Any deletions?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor Bab, point of order, if it's okay and pleases the commission. We have Ms. Erica here from the homeless and COVID shelter here. She wants to talk a little about the homeless shelter, if it's okay.
Talk gonna be more than 3 minutes, or she need a comment card, or you asking for a
She,
presentation?
well, you know, there's some issues about the homeless here in the city of Pahokee. She's wanting to just address a little, just give some little information, so it might go over a little. Since she's a vendor, we can give her at least 5 to 10 minutes if it pleases the commission.
Okay. To keep in order with our agenda, we would allow her to have comments on the public comments, and we'll just
That's fine.
give her a little more grace to kind of add
Yeah, that's
a little
fine.
over the 3 minutes. I put it that way.
That's fine, because it'll be at the top, so that's
Okay.
fine.
And the reason I'm saying that too, the city manager is the one that add on for emergencies, and that wasn't considered emergency. So.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Erica, if you would you fill out a comment card? Thank you. From the clerk. City Commission, having heard there are no addition to the agenda, nor deletions, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, I move that we would accept the agenda as read.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Gonzalez for the acceptance of the agenda as presented. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. The motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to public comments, public service announcement, presentations, proclamation, if any. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any citizen comments card completed?
Yes, sir. The first comment will be from Mr. James Scott.
Good afternoon. James Scott, 3044 Eldorado Drive, Bolt. If I can see, I was gonna say something about the Marina, but I can see that we have an alternate person that gonna do the Marina. But my thing was, I'm trying to figure out, when I look at the staff why we don't have a electrician or carpenter on our staff. And then some of this stuff, we don't have to be paying the people these outrageous, but we can come up with jobs for our friends making $90,000, $90-some thousand each, and they don't do anything. We got people that sit down and just monitor grants, how to manipulate a grant for $90-some thousand. We got one person order 4 lawnmowers, pay them $90-some thousand. But we can't have an electrician, carpenter, someone that can get some work done in the city. We can create these kind of jobs, but we can't create jobs for nobody that can do something for the city. And I'm still stuck on how is it that a city with 6,000 people or less need 2 city managers? That didn't make sense to me, not yet. But at the end of the day, I don't fault them. I fault the commissioners. But then again, I don't fault you guys, because we voted y'all in. I fault us, because we the crazy ones. We keep voting people in for who we some kin to, our friends, not putting nobody in here that want to do what's right for the city. You know, I know a couple of them that I voted for, God knows, I did thought they had their own mind, their own opinion, but they don't have nothing to say. They don't have their own mind, they don't have their own opinion. They just go by whatever somebody say. And I got to the end of that. I'm tired of that right there. I'm to the point to where you guys need to make a choice. You need to stand up and do what's right for the citizen. And stop just sitting by whatever somebody say, that's it. You don't investigate. You ain't got nobody that on the staff of the city that know how to do nothing. I'm quite sure a licensed electrician take one of them jobs on the weekend, a part-time job, a part-time carpenter. We get a lot done around here. But we can't get it done because if somebody run up and tell us $500-some thousand to fix a pier, I can do that in a week. What's wrong with that? I can do it. That don't really make no sense. Do you see a pole leaning out there? If a pole was leaning, then yeah, that's structure. It's not one leaning. It's just boards that's around that thing. So I'm just interested to see what Kelly Marina finna say. All right.
The next comment will be from Ms. Sanquetta Cowan.
Good evening. 1548 Singletary Avenue. I'm going to be reading a letter that was sent in by a citizen that was not able to make it to the meeting, so they wanted me to read their letter in for the record.
Are they from the city or they're from out of town?
They're in the city. And let me just ask a question. If they're out of town, does it matter?
It should, because these are citizens. You see the citizens out here? They
We have-
participate to help our city move forward.
We have Mr. Love that speaks every week. So that's why I'm asking.
Yes, I'm out of town.
No. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. They wanted to say that the public comments is part of your city commissioners meetings, and they're limited to 3 minutes per person. Yet, it is continuously without fail to allow one man to hold you, your commission, and meeting hostage, degrading and calling people names, and accusations that are unfounded accusations that are never proven. Individuals stand to talk and speak, insulting comments, insulting staff, and nothing is said. It's just continuously allowed in the meeting. The city of Pahokee and this community has become the laughingstock of Palm Beach County. Everybody tunes in to watch the reality show. Your meeting is streamed on YouTube, and you do not get a lot of views. And you get a lot of views, but for not good reasons. People strictly watch for the show, and you cannot undo, unsee, or unhear what is put out for everyone to see. There were some other things on here.
That sounds like Karl Marx.
There are some other things on here that I'm not going to read. I prefer not to read them because I'm not here to bash or degrade anyone. That's not my character. But what I will say is I was at the hospital today for lunch, and there were several individuals there asked me, Are you all having your reality show tonight? I see your meeting changed to tonight. But we will be watching to see, because all it is a reality show. And I hear people continuously, they'll say to me, I wouldn't do business in Pahokee. They say they have the commissioners who want to tell the people how to do the jobs. And they said that it's really sad. We say we want this city to move forward, but we're constantly saying negative things and doing negative things about the city. I would just like to say, as a citizen, I've been out, haven't been coming for a while because I needed to step away from that. But it still saddens my heart to see that here it is. My family listens all in Alabama, and everybody watches and talk about it. They said they've never seen anything like it before, the way our meetings are carried out. So I'm asking, please, let's do better with our meetings.
In addition to comments, cards.
Yes, sir. The next person is Mr. Robert Love.
Robert Love, 2648 Gately East, Green Acres, Florida. For y'all who talk about they ain't from here. I was born and raised here when some of y'all wasn't even here. When you was here. Let me tell y'all something about Pahokee. Why I come from Palm Beach to come to Pahokee, because this way I was born and raised, this way my family name is in Pahokee. Some of them don't understand, and them what writing them letters talking about what I do, the reality show. Let me tell you what reality is. Reality is something real. And when I come here, it's real. It ain't no joke. I don't come here to set up and argue and talk, because like I say, it don't help. It don't help. And when I have negative people coming at me talking about how people looking, yeah, over 18,000 people watching what we talk about. There's something real going on. And that what they don't understand. Them same people were talking to Shaquetta Cow when she used to be on Love and Company every day, doing just what she say I do. She used to be on there talking about Sarah Perez and talking about Gonzalez like they a dog on Love and Company. Y'all forgot when y'all used to be on there, when it used to be BMB on Love and Company? How when y'all rallied I rallied all around y'all, because y'all didn't have nobody to rally around. Y'all didn't have no platform. I was the platform.
Mr. Love, I'm sorry. Address the commission.
I was the platform. I was the platform. You can say anything you want to say.
My platform.
No what? You shouldn't have been on there. You should have been on there. Now all of a sudden,
Mr. Love, address the commission. Ms. Cobb, please.
I love when people come up against me, because I tell them they're coming up against what the Lord is doing.
Oh, Lord, what God?
I just did that, yeah. See all y'all holier than thou people? Watching, you was the same ones when Jesus was hung on the cross. All y'all holier than thou people didn't say nothing but what you're saying now. But I'm going to give you this. On my birthday,
not to me.
on my birthday, I said, y'all in the city, what donate to me, anywhere donate to me. We done raised $2,550 to get to senior citizens. I know I ain't did it. It's God did it. Ms. Alabama, she come in here saying thank you, because she was one of them.
Mr. Love,
we couldn't get everybody.
speak to us.
I'm speaking to y'all. Let me get these 32. I got some more time. They ain't no hurry. Because I want all y'all to know. I ain't in here for no show. They call it a show. It's not a show. It's what I'm going to do every meeting till y'all get it right. Like I say, I'm at Lucas, and y'all know I'm at him, because he ain't did nothing but lie since he been here. And he going to sit up in here and tell another lie. Now the flat pad back up to $30,000 again to fix, and they just went to turn it on. And then, like I'm saying, I ain't going to say nothing about this DP talking about come to fix the dock for $576,000. When you tell them? I got more time.
In additional cards.
Yes, sir. The next comment is from Ms. Irma Shannon.
That's what they don't like. That's what they don't like. But like I say, and Mr. Scott said, $576,000. They ain't got nothing against y'all company. It's Mr. Lucas. He claimed he can't put nothing out for bid. Y'all been, how long y'all company been over? 2 years, I mean a year and some months. You know, don't come up here and don't be investigated. But I'm gonna give a company that's been 2 years, a $500,000 bid, without bidding with anybody else. But y'all gonna listen to Mr. Lucas say that, because last week we had a company out of Fort Lauderdale. They talk to y'all on the phone. But this reality show talked about it so much on the reality show till y'all changed it now. And then, like I say, I heard, oh, that company borrowed something.
Point of order, Mayor. Mayor,
Yes.
we cannot allow citizens to bash the companies that's coming. They're trying to do work in our community.
Did I bash you
Say
out?
a statement,
I said I
Mayor.
may have
Mayor, you can't do that.
I said I
That's why the
may have
last
been
company
against
walked
the
away.
company.
He's not bashing.
Y'all bashing me now.
Mayor, the
Y'all
last company
bashing
walked
me.
away
What
with this.
bashing,
Go ahead,
Vice
Mayor. Okay.
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, Mayor,
What I'm
the
bashing?
last company walked away for the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right here.
Cause they know we wasn't gonna
They don't
go for
want to
no
do work
anything.
in the city.
They know we wasn't going for
Gotta do
anything.
better,
But you
man.
say
Come
they
on.
said they walked away cause they borrowed something. Now they just walked away cause of this. Y'all citizens better wake up. This is why Pahokee in the predicament it in. Because nobody wasn't coming to the meeting. I'm so glad to see y'all in the meeting. A couple of meetings ago, I was the only one sitting right there. And I come from West Palm Beach, like they say. When they get through talking, that's what they'll do. The devil will flee. The devil will flee. Because I ain't going to go nowhere. Then, just understand what I'm saying, Commissioner. When it comes to that man, y'all going to be with egg on y'all face. He done lied to y'all on every situation where he done put y'all in. And y'all here to know it. Like I say, the plan went from 30,000 to 80,000 to 300,000. And y'all sat here and let him tell that lie. But now he's back to 30,000. When I was in here the last meeting, nobody looked in my face and said, ain't it fixed, Mr. Love, ain't it working out? That's what he said. But is it fixed? No. Anything he done said he was finna fix? No. He said it was $250,000 been put in Martin Luther King Park, and they sent it to Tallahassee, and Tallahassee waiting on another grant for $550,000 when they say they done finished $250,000 in the park. You said it was finished. Y'all sent that to Tallahassee. Do y'all remember that? The commission. Y'all ain't got the answer, but I remember. That I remember. But ain't nothing been fixed in Martin Luther King Park. I don't care who don't get up here and say something. I'm coming to say something. I'm gonna have some more minutes.
Next comment is Ms. Sheila Williams.
Don't appreciate you.
Ms. Williams, could you come up to the mic and give the reason why you're not able to speak for yourself?
She didn't just do that, Keith.
Sheila Williams, 271 Brooker Place. I'm going to speak in reference to the tree that's on the property that the city owns. The guys did come out and work on the tree. They did get the limbs off of the house, but they did not complete the tree. So I would like the guys to come out and finish up the tree because there's still some bushes on the bike. And I am a senior and I'm disabled and I live alone. So I would like the guys to come out and finish the tree up. And Mr. Love is gonna finish my minutes.
Yeah, cause this one of them incidents where she been coming up here since April about that same tree, what he told 5 lies about. He was gonna get the Jackson boys. When he told that lie that night in the meeting, I told him, I'm gonna call the Jackson boys. I called him, they say he hadn't called. He come back, he told her, well, I'm getting somebody to do it, but I can't find nobody. Then he told her, I'm getting some equipment all at the same time to get it done. When it could have been done in April by the city, which he had to go out there and do it. That's a city manager that ain't doing his job. And it might be somebody gonna speak up for you, but they gonna tell me what you done since you've been here, besides lie. When it came to ARPA money, y'all lied until Ms. Pringle come up in here and went to argue. Cause like I said, y'all ain't gonna listen at me. But I'm so glad when the Lord sends somebody up here other than me, y'all listen. Because like I still say, I don't care how somebody call me this and call me that. Only God can judge me. I want y'all to know that. God gonna judge y'all. Cause like I'm gonna tell y'all this tonight. Y'all supposed to evaluate him tonight. In the evaluation after that there, I know certain people done said, oh, we gonna fine him. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, and people in this commission might well understand. If they don't find that man there, I'm gonna be all in Tallahassee and everywhere. They think I'm just on YouTube, think I'm just on Facebook. I'm gonna be on the phone. Remember, I see how you squirm, Mr. Bowler, Mr. Babb, Mr. Gonzalez. I'm gonna be on the phone. Cause I know what he doing ain't right. He's just taking Pahokee backwards and y'all don't care cause we been going backwards so long. Now one man been coming from Palm Beach standing up. Everybody say he wrong. But I'm gonna show you how right I'm is cause I ain't gonna sit down. Like I say, when y'all were running around on BMB, I couldn't get you off my live in the morning and in the evening. Now, my live is the devil. Don't the devil show up sometimes? But you don't know who he is. But I know who God is. That's what the problem is with people. I know God. I ain't worried about who against me or who for me. I got some more coming.
The next comment is from Ms. Joanne Culberson. Yes, ma'am, you.
Joanne Culberson, 1621 East Main Street. I want to ask about the Maltilla sign that was down there by Subway that has been missing for a while. It was down there with the Ricky Jackson sign. Now neither one of them are there. What happened to the sign down there? And are we going to get another one to replace it? You know, Maltilla's, before, I'm not against football, I'm not against Ricky Jackson. Ricky Jackson took me to the Super Bowl party in Miami Beach when the 49ers won. I loved that. I had never had that chance. But Maltilla's was the first one that put Pahokee on the map. And it took us 2 years to get a little bitty sign, 2 signs. It took us 2 years. And now we're missing one of them. And Keith wanted a Ricky Jackson sign. He came in here and got it in 3 weeks, and it was a 5x8. And it took us 2 years just to get Ricky Jackson. To get Maltilla's. And when the daughters came down for the presentation, and I'm telling you, Maltilla's is part of my family. His family is my family. They offered to do wonderful things in Pahokee. Nobody took the initiative to include them. And that was a big mistake, I think, because Pam and all, they would have done something. And I was almost embarrassed as a family member that the sign was this big and that tall. And Ricky Jackson's took up, don't get me wrong, I loved Ricky Jackson. But the difference, are we going to get a new sign, or are we going to get another sign to replace that sign? If I do not have an answer, I did this with Chandler. The only way I could get my answers, if y'all wouldn't answer me, I have Chandler, I told him, on Friday, before y'all close the office, I will be down to City Hall to pick up my answer to the questions that I asked at the meeting. Since y'all won't answer us here, I'll be at City Hall on Friday to pick up my answer. Surely somebody knows to say something about a little sign.
The next comment will be from Mrs. Allie Biggs.
Good evening again. Mayor Babb, Vice Mayor Mervin, Commissioner Bolden, Gonzalez, Commissioner Gonzalez, City Manager and staff, and all our citizens of Pahokee. I don't even know where to begin, because this fight is not really a legitimate fight. This fight is something that we are making our own city look like nothing. And the reason why I'm saying this is I'm going to talk about 2 things tonight. I want to first of all thank the city manager, and the staff that helped the senior citizens get some help with their houses. Everybody was very respectful, very helpful, and courteous, and we appreciate that. Somehow or another, I don't know what's going on since, and I won't bring up the years, but this stigma of hating so much has rotted to the core. And now our little city, not only is it the talk of the county, it's the talk of the nation. And I just want to remind us of one thing. We're talking about the city manager's evaluation. I may not have a reason why I want him to stay here, because I want him to stay here because I think he's doing a good job. But to those of you that don't want to hear it, that's okay. But any of you here that have a job, that ever had a job, and has been evaluated by your boss, were you done it publicly? Was it open to everybody? Now, yes, it's their duty to evaluate him and give their points and give a report to the citizens if they wish. But everybody up here want to scrutinize somebody. I worked for umpteen years, and I was a supervisor, I was a worker, and in all of my evaluations, nobody never publicly talked about my evaluation. Everybody in this building know I'm telling the truth. So what is wrong tonight? Because you don't like somebody, you rather do everything, but then to go and work with the person, than to try to help the city. We're not talking about no city manager or mayors or commissioners. We're talking about people in Pahokee. We are suffering from all of this. And every time we change a city manager, we go back 10 years or more. I don't care how much you hate somebody, how much you love somebody, or whatever. It's just a fact. Talking about a reality show, we need to get real. We need to speak up for what we know is right, but we so busily influenced by lies and untruths. Y'all better get it right. Judge one another. You have no authority. Judge yourself and see about what you do. Amen.
In additional comments, cards.
Yes, sir. The next comment is from Ms. Mary Dobro.
Starborough. Could you state the reason why he needs to speak for you? I need to have you do that.
Mary Dobro, 2997 Lakeside Circle, Pahokee. He's speaking for me in general on the concerns about the docks and the splash pad, which he's already spoke about.
And the reason I'm asking, when you have a large audience and you have the same individuals speaking, you basically heard the points they're making, and you say we're going to cut that off at that particular point. So I'm just trying to find out the reason some of these comments are being
start that
passed
back
on.
over, ma'am?
She already got up and started speaking.
And he been talking for 30 seconds.
Continue. We'll give him a 30 seconds addition.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be rude. I'm trying to be right. But I know it pisses everybody off when it seems like they're trying to be rude. I understand what you're saying. Cause when I know everybody ain't gonna be with me on everything. And then like I still say, some people gonna be done been with you until you get to the road, and then God will drop them off. You don't drop them off. The Lord will make you understand. But getting to the point about the splat, about the Marina. There's nothing against y'all, cause I don't know y'all from Adam House Camp. But if I had a business and I was running it, and then somebody was running my business for me, come and say, well, I don't find somebody that's gonna do this. Don't you think I want to know? The citizens of Pahokee want to know about y'all, about this and that about y'all, like we did the last one where we talked on the phone with a whole meeting. Now we still don't have them. We don't know if we're gonna have y'all right now, because that city manager over there, where everybody say they're doing a good job, he haven't done one yet. And I be there every meeting, so them people that don't show up, but every other meeting, they can tell me about the good job what he doing, but I can't tell you about it. Because like I said, when it came to the ARPA money, what they talk about the senior citizen got, we had to force that down their throat. They sat on it until we come up in this meeting and force it on them. It ain't nothing been happening in the meeting. Like I say, everything happening in the meeting happened off that live right there. They set up and look at the live what we have, and that's where it go. That's where he go. So everybody will love Lucas. Y'all love him, because when the city fall down in January, like the state gonna say, in January, they ain't got no lease right now. And then I bet as a company, they should say, why don't y'all fix the light and the water first, instead of fixing some boards on the dock? When you get the boards fixed, the dock still ain't gonna work. And it gonna be January. And y'all gonna be done ran out of time. Sitting up here with somebody don't know what they're doing. He didn't even know who to get the tree, cut a tree out of yard. He don't know who to get a bill to sign. He'll come up here with all them ideas. Yeah, I'm talking about Lucas, because that's who it is. Y'all the one hired him. Y'all the one should fire him. And I'm gonna stand on that. I don't care who in this town love Lucas. It ain't no love. It's what I love about Pahokee. It ain't no person. If Lucas died tomorrow, I die tomorrow, folks. Gonna have to still go on. But the love name gonna still live on. The love name.
Next.
The next comment is from Ms. Erica Ray.
Good evening. My name is Erica Ray. I am the Associate Director at the Homeless Shelter, the Western Shelter, and the Bell Glade Transitional Shelter located in Bell Glade and Pahokee. Just to give a brief run in regards to the shelter, the first step is the navigation number, which is 561 904 7900. That is the central location number for anyone who is homeless. And the definition of homeless, as defined by Palm Beach County, is that the person has to be out on the streets at least between 28 and 48 hours. I know we get a lot of people that call in and say, oh, I'm about to get evicted. That is not considered homeless until you're out on the streets within 24 to 48 hours. The Bell Glade Transitional Center is where we first bring in the individuals who are homeless to give them an intake and an assessment. If they meet criteria, we keep them, and they will be transitioned within 48 hours over to the Pahokee shelter. So that's the procedure for that. The Pahokee shelter also houses not only individuals, but we also house families as well. So we are a little different than the shelters over in West Palm, which is the annex and the one that's on 45th Street. They only house individuals. So we're the only ones that house families and children as well, and seniors. So I know there's an issue in regards to some of the homeless that are out in the park. I know Ms. Yvette mentioned that. There has been certain sheriff officers, they will bring individuals in. They have met with certain individuals at the park, and some that don't want to be in shelter. So, and then we have individuals that are in the park who have been in our shelter more than one time. And we're open to bring them back in. The only problem is that when you first come into the shelter, that's a 90-day program. And within those 90 days, you're assigned a case manager. You're assigned weekly meetings so that we can put you on the ball to get going. So our priority is to make sure the person has employment so that they can seek housing. So if they don't have employment, we're working within the community or within Bell Glade. We have a relationship with the stores here in Pahokee, Save a Lot, Dollar General, Family Dollars, Rainbow that just opened in Bell Glade, employed a lot of our guests. So we're working trying to get people employed, because that's the only way that they're going to be able to sustain housing. Right now, housing, as you all know, is very expensive. We have a cap where we do assist individuals with first, last, and security that are in our program, but it's up to $3,000. And many of you know now, $3,000 is not getting a person inside of a 1 or a 2-bedroom apartment right now. So that's why we asked them to work so that they could save within those 90 days. So what we can't help you with, you have it on your own. But you know, you have one bad apple that may come about, that don't want to work. They don't want to save. You have some that do work and don't want to save. So those are the individuals that you may see again out in the park. We're always welcome. They're always welcome to come back. We're not saying you're not allowed to come back. You're always welcome to come back. And we're still having the same policies and procedures that were there before. So our main goal is to make sure that you have a job, that you're working, and that you're saving so you can sustain housing. So that's our main goal. Go ahead.
Excuse me, Mr. Love. We're not, yeah, I'm sorry too, but the question have to come from the commission at this time.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So-
About the 90 days, do they, to get the $3,000, can you ask, like she said, $3,000, do they have to be there 90 days?
Okay. If a person comes into emergency shelter and they're following the program guidelines and they're meeting, we have certain meetings that we have every week. They're coming in, they're doing what they need to do. Yes, we will provide the $3,000. That's our goal.
Yes, sir.
That's our goal. So so if you come in and you're already working, but you need that extra push, you need that extra help, we make sure that you're we want to make sure that you're in a place where you can afford. Then yes, we do. We have case managers that work diligently every day to make sure that every guest is on track.
So questions, but there is requirements that they have to meet in order to come to the shelter there or Belgrade, go to Belgrade first.
Well, Belgrade,
to meet.
it's mostly our police drop off. So, and then when a person first comes in. So what happens is that when you call that number, you're gonna be asked a variety of questions to see whether or not you even meet criteria for homelessness. So once you speak to the navigator, so that's the navigation line. So you will speak to a navigator, a person. You will speak to a person, and they will answer. They will ask you a variety of questions, which is called the VSPDAT. So and it asks a variety of questions, and it gives a number score. So if a person scores a 5, they meet criteria. If a person scores lower than a 5, they don't. So a lot of times the people don't score. And it's not us, you know, that's the policy and procedure. So if they score a 5, then they will come in through Belgrade, we'll do the intake, we'll do the assessment. They have to be COVID tested, they have to go through the nurse. They are given the rules and regulations, and within 2 days, within 48 hours, because we can't hold them no more than 48 hours in Belgrade, we will bring them over to Pahokee. In Pahokee, we have 18 units for emergency shelter. We have 22 units for supportive housing. The difference between emergency shelter and supportive housing is that, say if a person is doing what they need to do, we have a family, sometimes we get a family of 10, a family of 8, and they may not be able to save as much because they need a bigger place to stay. So we would say, okay, you're doing what you need to do. Instead of, you know, the 90 days, we can't find anything right now, we have another stepstone where you can go to supportive housing, and that gives you up to 2.5 years to save. So we have a lot of families in that program. We have a lot of seniors in that program because we're not putting our seniors out, you know. And if they get Social Security, anything like that, we keep them and try to, you know, find placement for them because it's hard now looking for placement for senior citizens. So, and that's the supportive housing part of it.
And, sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to know if, do you guys have like a holistic approach in terms of, I heard you mention case managers.
Yes, you have the senior director, associate director, myself, you have the case managers. Every week we meet with individuals from the supportive and the emergency shelter. So we meet with all of our guests weekly. So we can follow through and see, hey, what have you done? What are the recommendations? Have you followed through? Whether or not the case manager has followed through, you know, whatever you need, you know. So we try to tweak and make everything, you know, towards that individual or that individual family.
Do you guys have a mental health component too?
We don't have a mental health component to it. We do referrals to multilingual. We are looking towards, you know, having somebody on site, but right now we don't have it. But we do referrals to multilingual for services if they do need the mental health services.
And just on top of that, I know Wednesday, the homeless task force is coming out to Pahokee, and they're gonna go to the park and do some assessment of the ones who's at the park. So, but like they were saying, but it's up to them if they want your services.
them
They
if they
have
want
to
your
want the services.
Yes.
So
And
that's,
also, we also have a collaboration with the Lord's Place. The Lord's Place has the outreach team that comes out to the Glades daily. So they will go to the park, they will go to Bell Lake, they will come to Pahokee, wherever, you know, they need to. They go to Canal Point, you know, wherever they need to service the homeless. So they have an outreach team that works on a daily basis.
and the process of that to get them out the park.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Erica.
You're
What we'd
welcome.
like to do is have you maybe come back and have you on the presentation.
No problem.
Or include you in one of our town
No
hall
problem.
meeting. We certainly want to do that. So
Okay, y'all know how to
if
reach
you're
us.
willing to come
Yeah.
back, please get in contact with our city manager.
Okay.
So he can add you to the agenda.
Okay,
Thank you so
you.
much for
All
the
right.
information.
Thank you for your.
No problem. I do have a card in one.
City clerk.
Yes, sir. The last comment is from Ms. Isabel McDonald.
Good evening. My name is Isabel McDonald, and I live at 199 North Elm Avenue here in the city of Pahokee. I hope I'm not asking you guys to be redundant about anything, but I haven't been at the meetings for a bit because of obligations that I have elsewhere. But I really would like to find out where we are with regards to the completion of Barfield Highway. Also, I would like to see if there's an update on the annexation questions that we have posed before. And I would like to suggest that an evaluation take place within the entire city with regards to our residential neighborhoods. The street that I live on, it's like a racetrack. And I know I'm not the only one that perceives that to be an issue. We do have small kids, and they roll right through that stop sign like it's not even there. So I would like to see if there's any provisions in place where we can have speed bumps installed in residential areas throughout the city. Other than that, if we can get some response to those 3 issues, it would be good. Thank you.
Are there any additional comments, cards, City Clerk?
No, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
May I have 2 minutes to put up a PowerPoint regarding splash pad and what was told a year ago to date. I also provided to the City Commission that information that he keeps repeating that's a lie. So, next slide. Splash pad was built in the early 2000s. The current equipment is obsolete. Control and actuator no longer manufactured. Condition of toys under the splash pad unknown. Toys may be rusted. The last quote to repair was $80,000, but the company states they're not sure it would correct the problem. Next slide. That's a picture of the existing splash pad. Next slide. As you see, determine cost of removal or current splash pad and start again. These were some of the things, the ideas that were kicked around. No decision was made, but he's quick to point a finger.
Why you keep on heat now? I'm gonna respond to when you keep on talking about heat. You better tell him to stop.
Come on, Mr. Love. Allow him to finish the report.
Continue.
Determine cost of new toys, $65,000 to $75,000. Determine cost of new operating system, $120,000 to $175,000. Determine funding source, capital improvement of $350,000 over the next 3 fiscal years. So it was under consideration at the time that some citizens wanted a replacement of the current splash pad. Next slide. Here, staff shows the breakdown of the value of our system and what the combined value would be. So in a nutshell, Commissioner Gonzalez had a gentleman from Clewiston give me a call. I spoke with him. They have a splash pad similar to ours. So he didn't repair anything, but another source stepped up and says, we know a person who can fix your splash pad. So we called a blessing to fix the splash pad. As we move forward, I set aside $30,000. It was approved by the commission to fix the splash pad. No one sit here and lie about anything.
When did that happen? When did the commission vote on $30,000?
I'll get you that information, don't worry.
No, they know they voted. Give it to me tonight. Telling that lie. See, I'm lying.
I never said you lied or didn't lie.
Did y'all vote $30,000 for splash pad real bad? Miss Big. No, Miss Big, stop it. I want to go home too, but I'm going home with some answers. Miss Big, stop it. Miss Big, stop it. Stop it, Miss Big.
So as we move forward, it's going to come up tonight that I'm going to ask about moving forward with having the splash pad open next Monday for the rest of the duration until you guys tell me otherwise, from 1 to 5, that we have an automatic timer that will kick it on so the kids can start enjoying it. I would like to, the following week, have a ribbon cutting ceremony. There's still a couple things that we like to do at the splash pad. But if you'll notice, the splash pad has been repainted, it's been refurbished, and we're just finishing up changing out the valves and sprayers. So we appreciate everyone's patience. Also, the Marina pool has been renovated. Things have been changed out. Trees have been removed. So like that, I'm going to ask in my city manager report for consideration to open up the Marina pool to the public from the 14th, next Monday on, as well through Labor Day, to the public for free. Just so the public knows.
They got school starting next week, 1 to 5, school hours.
That's it, Mayor. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the presentation, you can provide the two and introduce them.
Thank you, Mayor. Next up is Morel Lucky Knoll. Please come up to the microphone for your.
Hey. How y'all doing? Hey, man. Hi, councilors, commissioners, city manager. Man. Whew. It's rough in this house. I don't come here to play. I don't come here to get into wishy-washy stuff. But I thank y'all for opening up the city to me to bring this invasion of the muck here. We had a great time, and if it wouldn't be for the city manager that put it on the docket for y'all to see it, I know I had done got in all y'all ears and touched on y'all a little bit about it, but I had to get it through to him to get it through to y'all, right? And he was there every step of the way. You know what I'm saying? I can go to his office, sit down, do something. He never turned me away from the office. And I know he's busy. I never got turned away from the office. I was able to sit down, even when he's busy, I was able to just sit down and talk to him about what I needed for this show, for Pahokee. I do these shows everywhere around the world, but I had to get the right information for Pahokee. Now, I had people after the show to come up there and take pictures at 6 o'clock in the morning. Because some people don't want stuff to happen in Pahokee. This was the biggest major situation that came to Pahokee. But some people don't want things to happen in Pahokee. We brought like 5,000 people to Pahokee. And guess what those people did? They bought from different stores in Pahokee. Even some of the residents that stayed here that was on the side selling they little pieces of stuff, they bought from them. We have to keep building in Pahokee, and all this back and forth. When we come together, we're powerful. I promise you. It's gonna come together if you let it come together. I came down here and put on a show. I brought 5,000 people to Pahokee. This is a beautiful place to come to. Some people in Fort Lauderdale say, I've never been there, but man, I had a great time. On the lake, they don't even know the lake up there. But it's time out for the foolishness.
I'm glad y'all know it.
You gotta understand, man. I love my city. I love everything about my city. You can't tell? You can't tell?
One meeting out of year? One meeting?
No, partner.
Mr. Love.
No, sir. You ain't gotta shut them up for me. You ain't gotta shut them up
Now,
for
I
me.
don't want the back and forth. I
No,
want
we
to like
going
you
back and
3
forth.
minutes and then we move on.
I read the whole late, but I came to give back to Citizen Rec for the parking spaces that I had there. And it's just a wonderful thing just to keep doing stuff, keep building in Pahokee, keep bringing to Pahokee, keep bringing things to Pahokee so people outside can see the things in Pahokee. And what they're seeing now is social media. But if they come in city and they see what the city have to give, they'll be back here left and right. You wouldn't have to worry about a hotel down here. You wouldn't have to worry about things getting did down here, because if you bring money in the city, it'll prepare the city by itself. And I be here. When you in Palm Beach, I'm here. But I'm not in the city meeting, I'm in town,
I'm sorry,
talking to everybody.
I forgot about you when I had people donating to help the senior citizens. I forgot about you. I know you would have helped out.
I came to bring this check for Citizen Rec. I don't know which way y'all gonna go with it and deal with it, but you find it in which way y'all wanna find it and do with it. Know what I'm saying? Because I go to church and give my tithing and pay my tithing, and I don't know what the pastor gonna do with it, but I see they build doors, huh? So at the end of the day, we here to make a difference in the community. Y'all here to make a difference in the community. I'm just one person. If I can bring 5,000 here, and if we work together, we can bring a lot of people here. Mr. Lucas doing a great job. And I say that standing straight up. You do a great job. Just give him time to do a great job. When we get a relationship, we don't want nobody else's relationship coming in a relationship, and then we dating them, and they bring in another relationship in the relationship. Right? Yeah. We want a clear slate. Give them a clear slate to work with. And then, from that point, y'all start doing what y'all gotta do. But you never gave him a clear slate. He came in with problems. Obama came in with problems. He got us where we can see. Y'all gotta understand it, man. I'm a business person. I'm a businessman. I don't contemplate. When I say I'm gonna do something, I will do it. If you want to see me in every meeting, I'll be here.
Please, please, we need some men to come here and stand up and talk.
Any additional comments, cards? I'm sorry, this doing, Mr. Luca got the second one again. All right.
Next, Mayor, we have, so we received news last Wednesday from the agency that we chose, the Tom Cripps Construction, that they lost their barge and they wouldn't be able to move forward. So in our packet, you had two companies, Tom Cripps Construction and on the other side, H. Kelly Marine. Mr. Charlie DeVito is here and he asked could he do a presentation and explain some of the things that he's looking at regarding the floating docks and how we could possibly save dollars and go through and get this done before Christmas time, December, for docks D, E, and F. I mean, D, E, and E. Charlie, will you have everybody come up and introduce themselves for the record?
Good evening, council, members of Pahokee. We are not speakers of any part. We don't know anybody on the board. We don't know any of you folks. We just know what we do, and we do it pretty well. Yes, you're right. We're only in business with Kelly Marine for 2 years. It's because I retired from my original company that I had running for 25 years. I didn't want to do construction anymore. Found an opportunity to do some marine construction work. I put together some of the finest men that I could find and put some of the finest quality out. We don't have a website. We don't need one. We put some of the best work out there. We are only based on referrals. We are probably 2 years out with work. Our men do the best that they can do. We almost never have a call back. We try to do it right the first time. Upon seeing your docks that you had floating down here in your marina and reviewing your CAP report, which came in with some really high numbers. I'll show you this too, because if you think our number was out of the ballpark, it's far under what these people estimated. One, we have a Davis-Bacon Act law that we have to follow and pay these men according to what the state says. These men get paid for every hour of work that they provide to you guys. That's number one. Two, we have insurance requirements that are through the roof. We have alligators down there, we have toxic air down there, and we have, first and foremost is our health. We don't need to get sick, bit, or permanently ill from doing work. So we have to cover these men the best way we can. Now go ahead and get into the work itself. Let me introduce my guys. This is Chuck Small.
Chad Gorman. Reynard Schaffner. Drake Barnett.
So these are just some of my team. They pretty much know just about everything that I know. And if they don't, they come to me and we get things figured out. Seeing the quality of work that you had down there and seeing the last proposal that Cripps did, and I think they only wanted to put somebody on the phone to give you a proposal, and from what I heard, they didn't have many answers for you guys. If I can't answer the questions that you have for us, feel free not to hire us. Thank you. There's one. Two, we took a piece of plank back from your dock at your marina and tried to service it back to a condition that we would feel you guys would like, and it didn't meet our quality. So we went out and we got some of the new material to replace that old decking with new. Just feel free to carry it, touch it, feel it. It's the best e-pay around.
Mr. DeVito, just hand it to Vice Mayor and we can bring it around.
You should also touch, feel, and
One of them is
I can
fine.
see the difference.
There, just one of those can be passed around.
Just one?
Yeah, we don't.
Oh,
want to
okay.
see it.
Okay.
Jeff will explain the process of what
Yeah, I
he
already
did to
seen
get
that.
this work.
I know one of the guys.
So when we inspected the docks, it was clear that they weren't put together correctly the first time. The amount of screw that they used was not sufficient to hold down the boards. This is an extremely durable tropical hardwood from South America. It's called Ipe. It's called Brazilian walnut is what it is. It's got a lot of inherent rosins and oils in it. It's insect proof. It's basically fireproof, but it's very difficult to work with. It dulls saw blades, drill bits, and a lot of the cost that's involved with putting this stuff down is labor. They chose a couple shortcuts. I'm not blaming anybody. I don't know what was done before, but I can see it with my own eyes. This is what you got. Now, this board apparently was probably pressure treated or pressure washed at a high pressure. What that does is open up the pores, and you're allowing water to get, especially salt water in the air and fresh water right on the lake. You're allowing that to sit in the grain of the wood, and now it becomes deteriorated. This wood you see on every boardwalk down here. It lasts close to 50 years. You don't have to treat it, you don't have to touch it. It'll weather to a gray, which this obviously did, but it went a little too far. So what I did was I took the back of the board, which was, not exposed to UV. UV is not your friend, and did 5 different treatments to it. So this is a bleach. A couple of them are just basically bleaches, and then the last one is a sanding, a mechanical sanding. What I will tell you about all these processes is the chemicals are expensive and it's labor intensive. That's part of the reason for the high bid, or what is perceived as a high bid. It takes an incredible amount of work to get this back to looking the way it is right now from this, okay? So, and this isn't work we can do on the lake because these chemicals cannot fall into the lake. We would need to remove all the boards, take them off-site to a parking lot, a containment area. We could wash them, we could scrub them, we could sand them, we could plane them. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get the same quality of product as you are with brand new. And because of the buying power, the docks that we build and the amount of material that we buy, we can get you brand new material and put it down correctly versus what you had before. The support system was not sufficient for wood that is 3/4 of an inch thick. That's why you get bouncing on the boards. There's, standards from the industry, 16-inch joists, or stringers they're called. That's the spacing. You guys have 24, sometimes 32 inches. Becomes a trampoline. What that does, if the screws aren't put down properly, that trampoline effect pulls the screws even higher and higher. Another thing they didn't do was on the top of the stringers, they didn't put a waterproofing membrane. Screws, they put tar paper, which is what you put down on an asphalt roof. Screws are not meant to go and seal through tar paper. Nails will, screws will not. So that tar paper deteriorated, the stringers would rot, and the screws would pop. And I understand that, just looking at the dock, there's all kinds of problems with that. So at the end of the day, we can source the same brand new material and put it down correctly, put down more support structure for the same price as it would for us to mechanically take these off, mechanically rework them, and put them back on. So.
Okay, a quick question. You gonna take every board up there?
Every board on the dock, correct.
On DENF.
DENF.
DENF is the concern right now. DENF is closed off. DENF is what the proposal is for, to replace, to resurface, to make it safe and get all that orange barrier off it and not make it look like an abandoned marina anymore. And Chris, I want to introduce you and your talent and what you bring to the table for us.
How you guys doing, commissioners, city manager? My name's Chris Loudon. Been in the marine construction business for 20+ years. Everything that Jeff said is correct. Due to the damage that's been put out on the docks from the wave action on Dock E, it's Dock E, right? On Dock E, some of the stringer areas have been exposed to the weather. That's going to be replaced in the bid as well. Everything will be re-screwed. longer screws, screwed down properly, countersunk. These screws weren't countersunk, so this lumber is so hard that the screws will not screw down into the lumber. So if you use a bugle-headed screw, it's going to stay up a little bit, and it's not going to bite down on the wood and keep it down to the stringer. So what's happened, and then the wood erodes over time, very small, but a little bit, and then you got to screw further up, and then you get the play. So what we're going to do is give you new wood, screw with a countersink, so the screw head is level or underneath or below the top elevation of the wood, and you're going to get that bite to hold that, and a longer screw to get good down into the stringer, and that's going to keep the wood down properly so you don't have the looseness on it. So I think for the city, I think that's really the good solution for you, and you're getting more than what you're paying for. I mean, you're getting a brand new decking material that'll last, if we maintain it properly, do not hard pressure wash it to wash the fines out of it, will last a very long time, very, very, very long time.
Mr. Love. Mr. Love. Question have to come from the commission at this point, I'm sorry. If they're in.
Yeah, the question is, so you're not taking it back to you put new wood? Okay. How old is the dock, do you know, Mr. City Mayor, I remember, did you ever get that answer? How old is the docks that's out there now, this wood?
My understanding since 2005.
Okay, so we're getting brand new wood, not take it up and pre-treat it. Okay, but it's been like this since, say the date again?
2005.
Okay, 2005. Now, the only thing, performance bond, will y'all be able to supply a performance bond with your work? Okay.
Performance bond is part of the project. I'll tell you what part of your problem as the marina consists of. There was no maintenance ever to this deck, or the wrong maintenance. There was either no maintenance or the wrong maintenance. It was pressure washing done to this wood, which caused it to age prematurely. This wood does not get pressure washed. It gets sanded and washed with a detergent, and it gets oiled. It maintains its freshness with oil, not paint, not sealer, oil. It's a tedious process. It has to be done. Some of the finest homes in Palm Beach have these decks on their homes and their docks, and they have a 3-month oiling maintenance on their docks at their homes.
Do you guys do that?
We can provide a maintenance program for the city if this contract and deal is agreed upon and it moves forward.
And is the material the same material as E-Pay?
This is E-Pay.
It's just thicker than that one, right?
This is brand new E-Pay. This is.
That's 3/4 or was that 7/8?
This is 3/4.
3/4?
Which was, the original construction was 3/4.
Is that 3/4 or smaller?
3/4. This is 5/4, which it should have been made out of, which is a true 1 inch.
Is that the one you're gonna use?
Is that true 1 inch or is that 7/8?
This is true 1 inch, but the aluminum edging around the perimeter of those docks is only set for 3/4 inch.
So we don't like you use
So to accommodate the aluminum setting and try to save you guys some more money, we're suggesting the 3/4 inch and an additional whaler, AKA stringer, down the center to prevent that bounce that is occurring on the docks.
Now, as for the stringers, what material are they going to use and what's the alternative?
It's 3x6 pressure treated stringers. They usually have a 40 to 50 year lifespan when under the proper conditions, which those qualify for. Your current stringers are good, the ones that are working in place, except for on E-Dock right at the end of the ramp, where the theft happened and a bunch of decking is removed, and the stringers, whalers that are there are worn out.
And what's the warranty on that?
Excuse me?
The warranty.
The warranty, it'll be factory warranties from the wood manufacturers of what they give us.
So the
We'll provide that information when we obtain it from them.
I mean, has all the work already done?
The work itself?
Right.
We'll make an agreement on a warranty period of what satisfies the commission and the city.
Okay, and you guys are insured?
We're fully insured,
with
workman's comp.
I mean, do you meet the state's requirements?
Well,
or would that be for the city manager?
We would not be able to accommodate this contract without following all the guidelines that's provided by the state. So we wouldn't bring a team as big as I did here to waste your time or ours.
Yeah, because I mean, in order for you to do the job, it has to meet with the state requirements, so.
Say that from the beginning.
We have multiple levels of insurance.
You got a problem with me asking a question?
It's right here. They got it. They got the quote.
So,
I didn't hear the question.
just so the waters aren't muddy here. The first company has rescinded. They sent in writing. Since they were the second up, what Mr. DeVito would like to have consideration for is to merge with Chris company,
Marlin,
which is Marlin Construction. So I still have to get information. We still would have to get their scope of work and all those things, and I have to bring it back to commission. So I would.
To go with your insurance requirements, we already entertained the conversation with our insurance providers, and due to the alligators and the toxic waters, we're going to require more coverage than usual because of the extenuating circumstances that are at this lake. So we're only covered to so many men, and we need more men than we have coverage available for because of this situation down here.
And just to give you guys some more information, I installed the boat lift for the sheriff's office down there at the dock when the dock was new 8 years ago. So I'm familiar with the community. I've done work here. I've worked for Palm Beach County. I've at their park, and I did all the sheriff's boats down on Blue Heron Bridge. I also did a sheriff's down for the city of West Palm Beach. So I've got a lot of experience around here, and I've actually worked in your town. I just want to let that know.
So who are we doing business with, him or the other guy?
Because of the requirement, he wants to work under Chris, correct?
We're merging for this project. We granted a very short time frame to perform a very large amount of work. I can't do it with this amount of men that I can insure for that project. In order to get more insurance to cover more men, we had to put another company into the mix. That company allowed us to bring Chris Loudon in to join us.
Just to share that price, and with the audience, Dock D is projected to cost $248,000. Dock E, $182,000. Dock E, $198,000, for a grand total of $628,000.
And you can start the work within 30 days and finish by November.
With the agreement of the two companies merging and the additional men provided at the leak. That was our original bid. We had to compromise to meet Tom Cripps's bid in order to accommodate this project.
Okay.
The estimates that you guys received from CAP government came in at $852,000 for those three docks. So I think we're about $300,000 under, and they weren't providing new e-pay. They were only flipping boards and changing screws.
Okay.
And as for your question of labor, if you have local labor with the talent, we will hold a job fair open to hire local residents to come work with us. So there's some skin in the game from the town, and they have some passion for this beautiful marina that you guys have down here.
In addition, question from the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're looking to, this is on just for consideration, or this is on for the motion to start work? We already in August.
So I was going to ask for consideration in my city manager's report to consider the blended company to move forward with, negotiating with, to repair our docks, the floating docks D, E, and F.
So we need a motion to consider the joining of the two companies, and then a motion to, I think we already passed the motion already to get the docks completed.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need a motion to combine the two companies, you know, to working together to complete the docks. That's what we're asking.
Yes, it would be the Marlin Construction. And then I guess the H. Kelly would be underneath them.
Well, maybe I would like to make a motion that we will consider Marlin Construction working with H. Kelly Marine for the repair of the floating docks.
This has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly seconded by Commissioner Bowden to have H. Kelly Marine and Marlin Construction, whatever proper wording would be there, to complete the dock work on dock D, E, and he got two E's here too, so I guess his second and last one's supposed to be F, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Dock F. Call for questions.
I do.
Would they have to
Commissioner
come?
Gonzalez.
Yes, we're combining, this is just to confirm that they're both these companies are working together. Who's the one's gonna be in charge of the project, and how much more is it gonna cost us? Because he just said that he doesn't even know how much the total is gonna be. So we can't say we're gonna hire a company without knowing the price. No, he said that there's other stuff that has to be discussed. I mean, he clearly said it.
That's not what he said.
You can call him back in if you want. He's clearly said it. There's certain things have to be changed.
He's here. Are these figures gonna change or with the merger, or are they gonna be the same?
The requirements that are required to fulfill our insurance obligations required us to merge. It has absolutely nothing to do with any prices. There's no changes. There's no cost to you guys. It was just so we could fulfill the insurance obligations that we need to.
Right, but you said something about the material. You said something about the materials that certain things are gonna have to
The
change.
material was that the
No, I'm talking
fact
about the
that
price. The price, you didn't give us a definite price.
He has to, they have to.
There's a contract.
So is this prior to the phone call we had a discussion this morning on the phone? Is this prior to this?
I
Or
said
after that?
we lowered our company price to meet your bid of Tom Cripps to accommodate this contract for you guys.
Okay.
See, on the backside, they bid it $628,000.
Right.
He's willing to match on the flip side, Cripps.
Oh, so you're willing to match?
Yeah, you guys are getting more out of us than we are out of you. Plus, you're getting brand-new wood instead of cleaned or flipped boards.
And that's for DE and, well, that's what he's saying. He's gonna try to match it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, he said he's willing to match it. Right.
Cap government gave you guys an appraised estimate. Cap government survey
Yes, sir.
gave the city of Pahokee an estimate of $852,000 to do the repair. That we quoted for $628, and we agreed to match Tom Cripps' price to finish this marina for $576,000
So, yeah, okay, I
for
got
the
you.
work provided on the page 29, I believe it is, of the contract that you guys wrote to us.
Okay.
So, all right. In additional question, we have a motion on the floor, been second. In addition to question, hearing none.
For clarity, you're matching it, right?
We are
Plus
ma-
new.
we are
new
matching
debt.
Tom
Okay.
Cripp's
Okay.
price. But we're providing new e-pay, not
Correct,
flipping the boards over and re-screwing the deck down.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to provide us the new, working words and the
Yes.
scope of work and all that,
So we
that
won't be able to
shows
vote
that.
on it. We're not gonna be able to, like he says, he has to change it.
You have to change what?
The scope of work, so, because he's
Scope of
at,
work, the price is
Yeah.
solid, it's set.
yeah.
The original scope of work on the contracts provides us was flipping the existing boards over,
Right.
reusing the screws that are inadequate as they are already for $576,000. We are giving you new wood with the correct screws according to Florida Building Code for your dock.
So what is it you're saying he needs?
He just has to rewrite his scope of work.
We can still vote on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just subject.
Can we,
Hearing no additional questions, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll move to our consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of the July 25th, 2023 City Commission meeting minutes. If there are no objections, we're gonna move this. I'll entertain a motion for moving
Mayor, I
this.
move that we will accept July 25th, 2023 City Commission meeting minutes.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Bolden for the consent agenda to be moved. Call for question. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Next, we have old business, discussion of existing activity or previously held events, if any. Under our old business, we have the discussion and direction of the city manager, evaluation and contract. We was,
Darian, could you put the slide up?
you all are good if you want to. We already approved that to move forward on your contract, so, yeah. Unless you just want to stay. All right. Good, thank you.
Mayor, would you like for me to go back to the slide, or you guys just?
No,
take it
I
out
think we
with-
could move from our, where we left off. It would have been each of the commissioners will discuss the evaluation of the city manager. I think someone had a little concern about it being public. We even checked with the city attorney. It's normally on all cities, the evaluation is a public entity. We just operate under the sunshine. I mentioned that we would try to just move it with Commissioner Bolden, Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin, myself, Commissioner Gonzalez, and Commissioner Perez, who is absent. So we have 4 commissioners that will discuss the evaluation. It's depending on you how much in depth you want to go. You have the entire evaluation in front of you along with our other evaluation. So it's up to you what you want to do. And we'll start with Commissioner Bolden.
Well, I guess I'll read my narrative evaluation afterwards, but I want to say this. You know, being a new person coming in, not knowing how things work as far as the city goes, you know, I felt it was important for me to kind of really dive in, really understand certain processes, and in doing so, I was able to, you know, see the city manager with citizens, how he dealt with some of their issues. I was actually able to be there firsthand because, like I said, being a new person, it's important for me to kind of learn how things work. Not to get involved in what he's doing, but to learn about certain processes and how he handles them. As far as one-on-ones go, all the time, like I said, I'm there with the city manager. So those one-on-one sessions that lead up to commission meetings, I'm there. My questions are usually answered with no problem. So when I come to the commission meeting, I don't have a million questions to ask. We've already kind of done our one-on-ones and gone over those things. I'll go ahead and read my narrative evaluation. The city manager's strengths with regard to the principal results achieved during this rating period have been evident in his ability to maintain a solid rapport with the community by meeting with citizens to resolve their concerns in a timely manner. The city manager has demonstrated a capacity for innovation and creativity that, with time, opportunity, and the proper tools, I believe will usher Pahokee into a viable and prosperous city. The city manager has the ability to assess the training needs of staff and recommend appropriate measures for performance improvement. Given the challenges that our city has to overcome, I've seen a tremendous level of resolve, patience, and balance in the city manager. In this period, many of our city projects are underway, and Pahokee's 100th year has been successful under his leadership. Some suggestions: make the completion of the Marina docks a top priority. I'm glad we were able to kind of move forward with that tonight. Continue to recruit and hire a strong team of professionals at City Hall. You know, I think that's important that we have, you know, high-level qualified people. Sometimes that takes longer than what we're comfortable with, but change is an uncomfortable process at times. Work to develop an initiative for rebranding the image of Pahokee. That's not solely on him. That's something I feel like, you know, all of us can play a role in. And establish a viable system or method of sustaining funding sources for various projects, infrastructure, and programs. We need revenue generating, you know, projects to be completed here in Pahokee. So that was pretty much in a nutshell. Like I said, having been present with the city manager, having done my one-on-ones, I feel like, you know, my ratings were fair. Of course, I didn't rate them high on everything, but being present is a very important part in evaluating someone. And the relationship that you choose to build with the city manager is also a very important part of it, because you're going to be evaluating him on something that's kind of a two-way street. Of course, it's his job to, you know, serve the will of the commission, but it's also our job to work with him as much as possible and put any, you know, like I said, some people's personalities are not necessarily going to mesh with yours. I think it's important for us to be objective, put those things aside, and actually look at the work. If you ride around this city, you'll see work being done. You'll see progress. You see Barfield. You know how long that sat up there. Quite frankly, I think if we would have gotten out of the way, this would have been probably done or very close to completion by now. But we're going to have to continue to work together. Like I said, it's a two-way street, and you know, that's I'll just leave it there.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Mervin.
Mayor Bab, my opening statement would be with the city manager is I concur one with Commissioner Bolden, as in one thing that I know that he does every week, he sends out either he will email that your one-on-ones are open. Every commissioner can come in and meet and talk about whatever their concerns, whatever they hear in the community, when they get their agenda packet. Me, myself, I know not only do I call Mr. Lucas, I also call the deputy city manager and I ask for a meeting to go over the agenda before I come to commission meetings. So answer questions so we don't have to be here all night, or our citizens don't have to be all night. So I get my questions answered during those one-on-ones, which I think is very important. Number two is that we have to realize, and I think, I don't know, Mr. Noel or Commissioner Biggs hit on, we have to realize that the city manager came and was dealt with a hand with a lot of problems in the city of Pahokee. Not just that it happened a year, he's been here a year, probably a year and a half now or so, but he was dealt with problems that was happening probably back from 2005, from the early 2000s, and some of the issues that is coming up now. Remember, if I could please have the floor and not the citizen talk in my.
Please.
So, and I don't think who gets in that chair, what city manager sits in that chair, who came at the time would have to deal with those issues. Some didn't. Some just let them, they lapsed over time. Nothing was, and you hear what the guy said now about the floating docks. The floating docks was almost over 18 to 20 years old that been in those conditions. So now it's just a lot of things that's coming to the surface that the city manager at this time has to handle. Not one time have I not called and did not get I could have an appointment to go in and talk. Not one time that he did not say, well, I'm too busy, I cannot answer a concern I had if a citizen called me about anything. But getting to my evaluation, one of the only weaknesses that I had and you know I talked to him when he first came, at one time that stand on task. There was a lot of, and I know there was a lot of different tasks, but stand on task. One of his strengths is that he does allow the city staff to come in to give their updates. If you have something, whether if you want to, whether it be Cole, whether it be Mrs. Boulay, whether it be Mr. Johnson Adams, Mr. the city, he has staff, they will come in and address some of the concerns. But some of the, points that I had asked him to do and gave him like a little time frame to see could some of these things be completed. One was to get the past projects completed and get them mobilized, which we know at 1 year, I don't know why we all forget, for 1 year, a lot of these projects had laid dormant. Even when we had the last city manager here, not one project was touched, not one project was talked about, well, not even the floating docks. Nothing was done more than reconstructing the city commission and made a big havoc within our community. One of my tasks is also to complete phase 4 resurfacing project, which, you know, and this is nothing new that him and I met for the evaluation that we have not even gone over. So this is nothing, and if you read his evaluation, what he put in his report is some of the same stuff that the commission have asked him to do. So, and then the next one was to get McClure Road mobilized, and I know, and I said at least by, I see that it's supposed to be done, getting started. I know they're in the first phase of designing McClure Road. Number 2 is understanding the budget. I know when we first came, it was we had a lot of concerns about how he did the budget. So it's understanding the budget, and even if the finance director is not here, that he can explain to the citizen and the commission the budget of the city. Get the audit completed and updated. Complete a comprehensive review and submit it to the state by June of 2023. Complete strategic development plan for the city wide, not just one particular area of the city, but all our pockets in our city, that we can have a strategic development plan for our city. Those were some of the, for the upcoming year, some objectives that I have given out to the city manager.
Okay. My evaluation, let me just read this narrative first. As the mayor, I have always considered myself the biggest cheerleader for this city. However, in the past year, I have had very little to cheer about. Under the direction and leadership of our city manager. As mayor, I was one of the primary person who brought the city manager here. At least I made the first contact, because I thought that he was terminated unfairly, and I wanted to try to correct that wrong that occurred. So I brought him back as intern. I didn't vote for him to be the permanent city manager. Not that I didn't have faith in him, but I think I wanted to give him a little more time to show that he was up to the task. However, he was voted in 4-1, and that was fine. I have consistently tried to give the city manager my full support and cooperation, along with some constructive criticism when I saw it was needed. However, after approximately 15 months, I no longer have any trust, any faith, or any confidence in the city manager anymore. And I'm just one person with one vote. And I don't want to go over the scores, but I would say that I didn't rate the city manager 5 in any category. I didn't rate him a 4 in any category. We have some that gave him 10 5s and 22 4s, so they had a good working relationship. I begged the city manager practically to work with the mayor. We are Tri-City. We have 3 mayors in this Tri-City, and 2 of them are appointed. I'm an elected mayor, and I can't get this individual to work with me. I don't recall 1, maybe 2 projects or 2 things that he may have done to show that, Mayor, I'm working with you. Now, if I'm asking for something big and extraordinary, you got to get 3. And I think he failed to know that to maintain his job, you need 3 people supporting you. Now, you're taking one of your biggest supporters and you're saying, you know what, I'm going to just listen to maybe 2 and no longer listen to what the mayor is requesting. It's been a while since I have regularly came to City Hall. And it's because of working with someone that you feel don't listen to you and don't even respect you. I'm disappointed. I'll just put it that way. I'm very disappointed. And sometimes you can even go into a marriage and do your best to work with the individual you married to, and it don't work out. Maybe this relationship just is not working out for me. I put up those pictures, and the city manager turned around, although his staff did call and say, you know, the mayor is in here doing something, which he should, but the individual was told that he wasn't allowed to let me in this building unless he approved it and authorized it. Now this is Marina City, coming into City Hall here just one time, and I get a call saying, I can't let you in no more unless the city manager approved it. Now if I came in regularly doing something or tampering with something, that's different. But I felt so hurt by that. We went to Palm Beach County days in Tallahassee. The mayor normally speaks for the city, on behalf of the city, and the city manager. So we go into these legislators, we should have teamed up and say, look, Mayor, these are some talking points you may want to make. You know, we're trying to get this project done, and we need the legislator to approve it. And I saw him and came downstairs and said, Mr. Lucas, we don't even work together, man. I mean, here's Mayor Joe Cowles and Mayor Steve Wilson. I asked them how many times they spoke to their city manager and worked with their city manager these 2 or 3 days we was in Tallahassee. And we haven't talked once. Not once. Working with the city manager on the streets, I think he did a good job improving the financial support of the Centennial Committee for the various projects and events that was held during fiscal year 22. He gave the money. He provided funding for it. And we have had a lot of comments about we don't do anything or have anything to do in Pahokee. He did that. That was the only thing that I was able to pull that I could say really positive. That wasn't just an average task to perform. I noted that the city manager ought to have a better working relationship with the mayor and the city commission and be more responsive to the requests from the citizen and the commission as a whole, as opposed to 1 or 2 commissioners, individual commissioners. He needs to demonstrate more dedication to service to the community and its citizens. I'm also concerned of the lack of information that is being shared with the mayor, with city commission, and the city attorney. There appears to be a serious lack of effort there appears to be a serious lack of an effective working relationship, communication, trust, and transparency. Key staff vacancies need to be filled, and local residents need to be seriously considered and given a fair and equal opportunity for employment within the city. I believe your initiative, I'm talking to the city manager, should be focused on appropriately demonstrating leadership for our city staff, maintaining professionalism, enforcing a common set of standards and expectations of city staff, timely following up on projects, and showing that the city of Pahokee is determined to making real progress with improving the quality of life of our residents and the continuation of building the city and as a community of choice for working, living, and business development. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. I also, how can I say this? I'm also disappointed in the city manager. City manager, if you could recall a couple of months ago, maybe the beginning of the year, you stated that you couldn't get your job done because I was continuously in your office, but you didn't tell anybody why I was in your office. It was to discuss city issues that need to get resolved. So I gave you the opportunity to not be in your office anymore. And still, you still could not get things started and moving. Give you a prime example, the lady who was talking about the tree being cut. Why did it take so long to get cut? The problem with Shive Island with the flooding is that you've known over a year. You went up there, I even introduced you to the neighborhood, to some people out there. You did show, I gave you that with Mr. Carlos, but nothing's being done. Okay? Another thing is, this thing about the docks, you're telling people that you just found this out. And the truth is, Ms. Adams knew about it as of June the 11th, 2021, and you knew about it since July the 8th of 2021. And we have documents to prove that. You known about DE&F. Why wait till the last minute? These things could have been resolved. Yes, it leads back to 2018, 2019. But when you came in, this fell on your table. It was not being moved. So now we're at the last minute pushing it as an emergency, which I can understand that. Respectfully, we just need to get it done. Okay? Another thing I asked you about Ms. Diane Walker's bench at Commissioner's Park. Still haven't heard nothing about it. You tell me they're gonna get it done. How many months has it been? Still, we haven't heard anything about it. And another thing is, you're too dependent on Ms. Johnson Adams. I understand she's the deputy city manager, but when the citizens or the commission have questions, you call Ms. Johnson Adams to speak for you. You never can, for the most part, you can't speak for yourself, and you're the city manager who's supposed to be running a city. Another issue, Barfield Highway, McClure Road. McClure Road is moving not because of you. My personal opinion is because Ms. Commissioner Perez, she's out there a lot asking questions, getting things done, making sure things are moving around. She's not telling anybody what to do, but she has a lot of questions. And I personally feel, and this is my own personal opinion, if it weren't for her, McClure Road would not be at the stage that it's in right now at the moment. Barfield Highway, your first line of defense as a city manager to know what's going on. Yet you're not getting on their case about there's days that they're not there doing their job. Yet you're allowing them to put these change of work orders and multiple, and they're not even that far up in the job. It's maybe not costing the city, but it's costing taxpayers money. It may not be our taxes, but it's everybody's taxes from the state of Florida. And for us to come out here to keep approving these things is ridiculous. You're the first line of defense. You're the first one to say, hey, this is what you agreed to, and hold them accountable. You're telling me I'm interfering with day-to-day operations because I'm bringing these things to your attention and asking questions. It's not my responsibility to do your job, and that's your job. And yet, I'm here as a city commissioner. I'm going out there as a citizen with concerns to get these things done, and yet you're still not standing up and stepping up to the plate and taking care of business. There's a lot of things I can go on and on, but I'm not here to bash you. I'm just here to keep it real with you. I am disappointed, and you and I both know we have multiple conversations about a lot of these things that are not done. And I am disappointed personally. I like you as a person, but as a city manager, I don't think and I don't feel, based on the 2 times that you've been here, you're not showing the progression that the city of Pahokee deserves. I told you right here on my narrative, I gave you credit when you execute yourself to do tasks. When you apply yourself, yes, you get it done. But you haven't done that lately in a long time. Only thing I can see is that you like to come to the commission to get permission to spend money. The city is not here just to spend money. I appreciate the festivals and everything we did for our Centennial, and I appreciate all the work that the Centennial Committee has done. I applaud them. But the truth is, a city manager should have the standards of trying to provide revenue for our city to sustain our city from reaching out for more and more money. We're not generating any kind of revenue to keep a city living. We're broke, and you're not telling people that, but the citizens, for the most part, are very aware of it. Okay, so the thing is, me personally, I'm not going to continue going because I have a lot written out here. Like I said, I'm not here to bash you, but as a city manager, I personally feel you're not city manager material. Me personally, it's my personal opinion, and I'm only one vote.
We're going to continue with the agenda. We don't have any public hearings or ordinance, no resolutions, no new business. Wait a minute, make sure I'm doing it. I'm sorry. Okay. No resolutions. On the new business, presentation by the city manager of activities of upcoming events, if any, city manager.
Yeah, so we ain't gonna say nothing about the contract. Let's just say the evaluation and contract.
Yeah, I want to refer that maybe to, yeah.
Thank you.
So you want to go projects?
Yes.
Well, in your budget, we went over the percentage of where they were at. So on page 17, the Barfield Highway reconstruction, it's at 94% of $4.5 million project. It's estimated completion date's March 24th. East Lake Village Storm Water Improvement, FDEP, it's at 95%, a little over 95%, and it's due this month. Commission Park Splash Pad repairs about at 80%, and our goal is to get done this month with it. The Marina Campground, it is due January 31st of 24. MLK Park renovations, we hadn't started on that. We've only done preliminary work and boundaries. So we still have, that's due December of 2024. McClure Road reconstruction design, we're just getting started on that. We've done less than 1%. That's a $933,943 award, and that's due June of 2025. Public Works small engine maintenance, surtax, we had 80% of using those dollars out of 5,500. The cemetery maintenance, it's 100% complete as of August of 23. Sidewalks on Begonia, through surtax, 100% completed, 100,000. Demolition of the house at 647 next to Commission Park through the solid waste. It's 100% complete. We spent $80,500 on those capital improvement programs, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we move to the mayor's report, and be brief. Too much is given, much is required. I'm gonna close this by saying I know some folks may be disappointed about how the city manager was evaluated. But I think hopefully it came from what each of us observed and saw and witnessed during these past 12 months. I know you've been on for 15 months, but we really evaluating him from April up until January. And he's making $10,000 a month. So you got to ask yourself too, what standard are you looking at? And is things going that well, is $10,000 a month is being totally earned? Coming to work early, leaving late, if it takes that to get the job done. So you have to ask yourself that. That's the end of my report. We now move to the city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. The consensus, under consensus, we've already moved to accept H. Kelly Marina joining Marlin Construction. So that's done. Then seeking commission approval to open the Marina Pool and Splash Pad to the public starting August 14th through Labor Day for free. Do I have consensus?
Do we have personnel? Like, are we prepared from a personnel standpoint to Open that pool up.
On the pool, I need lifeguard.
Yeah, lifeguard.
And we're working on someone to be at the splash pad too during the Monday through Friday, during that period of time, in case somebody slips and falls.
I appreciate the effort of trying to help children, but I tell you, doing it totally free with no offsetting cost, I don't know, that's something you may want to weigh in on. And then you're going to have you got to have someone there, because you're going to limit the number of children able to get in at one time. Maybe once they do get in, maybe limit to an hour
occupancy, yeah.
So 2 hours, whatever the case may be. So you'll make sure you get a lot of kids in there doing the total 5 hours are going to be open, available to them or whatever. It's just something to think about.
Just curious, what time school you get out?
That's another thing. He would look at that if it's open during school and the main attraction is children. You want to probably open it at some different
Around
time.
2:30.
2:30, 2:30.
So why you open at 1 o'clock? For the kids, why they don't go to school?
He ain't saying that. I think he understand. We all understand that. He'll make some adjustments, hopefully, on that at the time. So it'll be open during.
It's for the entire community, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I thought it was for the
Right.
entire community.
Right. Yeah.
To what age limit are the kids allowed to come in? What are the age limits?
I didn't think that the splash pad had a limit on the kids.
You know, you said the pool. We're referring to the pool.
The community?
You saying it's for the kids, right?
The community.
No, the
Oh, doesn't matter, just
splash
no
pad
matter
and
what
the-
age or
and
whatever,
the-
it's
and
going.
the-
Okay.
And the pool is to the community.
Okay.
All right, so
I have a question, for the splash pad, do the daycare home probably need to have a reservation of what time different ones can bring their kids up? But that's really what the splash pad is for. It's for the daycare kids.
Can you speak up? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying the splash pad, it would be set up a scheduled time where you got the home daycares and
Okay.
other daycare like the Lord Place and what's up, right ideas. The same time that they can bring their kids, give them a time, they can bring their kids up, because splash pad ain't for the community listed on Saturdays in the afternoon. No, it's a public park, but then someone have to be there to monitor it.
But I think he said that they're gonna have somebody there monitoring
No,
it.
like the 1 o'clock stuff when school's in, you know, like.
Right.
Yeah, that way they can go ahead and get their kids in and out.
Right, so say if Right Ideas or someone call and wanna use it, reserve it for them that day, I think if they call the city and say they would like to
That's what I'm asking.
have the kids to come out, they just call and schedule the time to have that slotted for that kid at that time. But they might do it before 1 o'clock, but they're there before school. I think that's something easy work that you can call through the city.
So the 2-week window of free is all I was just saying.
Okay.
Splash pad always been free. But
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna vote on this Walker bench tonight? Are y'all gonna do anything about this Walker bench tonight?
No,
I
Miss-
spoke of it earlier.
Mr. Washington here, that's gonna happen. We already approved that, so she can give us a time frame when it's expected to be delivered or spot up, but.
Yeah, that was gonna be my
Yeah.
question, my comments. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
We'll get that done. Hope she can give us a date.
All right, so follow-up, Wildlife Agency has come out 3 times to East Lake Village, Canal, and MLK, trying to capture several alligator threats we have in the community, and to no success. Well, at MLK, they caught a gator, but it wasn't the big gator we were trying to get. Then they tried to get the mama gator over in East Lake Village, but they couldn't catch her. There's 3 small alligators, but they said they wanted them to eat the vegetation and the rats and get to a certain size, and then they will remove them from the canal. Splash pad update, we're in the home stretch with it. We have repainted the splash pad. We're testing the sprayers. So there's probably 5 that's been replaced. Maybe we got another 2 or 3. Then also we're looking at painting a mural on the ground with the city logo. So we have something nice to appreciate. Swimming pool, we had several leaks, so the gutters around the edge, the system had to be, half of it had to be gutted out. We replaced the pump. We've done the chemical container where your chemicals go in and then flush into the system. All that had to be replaced, not only there at the Marina pool, but as well at the splash pad. So just giving you an update on that. And what time would you guys like to have a ribbon cutting for the rededication of both the splash pad and the pool? With
Come on, Ms. Love.
So, like the 16th, that's a Wednesday. With time, 3 o'clock when the kids get out.
No, that's this week.
I mean, like later on,
Yeah, I don't think we got a conflict with 16. 16 would be fine. 3 o'clock, 16?
What time?
3. We do it at the splash pad. Thank you, sir. Algae update. The hotter it gets, the more it appears. I've been approached by several scientists regarding potential money-making revenue by collecting the blue algae. Also, the green algae can be used for fertilizer. So I like to move forward with discussion with the 2 parties. The Florida Atlantic University staff is interested in putting a device on the wall of the marina to collect. Then also there's a scientist duo that has a machine that sucks the algae out, and they want to be able to sell it to the farmers for algae to prevent fallout going back into the lake. So, so there's some opportunities where the marina can benefit us. So I'll speak with them and bring it back. We do have, for the last couple weeks, the take-home vehicle policy has been setting with our attorney. So I got to just check with her. She's out this week on vacation. All right, so Public Works already scheduled the lift, and we got the limbs cut down at 271 Booker. We had our first meeting with Treasury Coast Regional Planning Council. to go over our plans and our comp plan and so forth. It was a great meeting, learned a lot. We have to review with Housing Authority with Ms. Harvey the questionnaires for annexation to give out to the clients there. So I'll get that done in the next week. And then on the capital improvement, as you see on page 2, we've pretty much gone over those things. I just received a report from building official regarding Parker Building and a decision to move forward with just, basically foreclosing. Are we going to give Mr. Siegel a second chance? So we'll get that and get with Ms. Bernadette on what's the process to foreclose. We have enough fines and penalties on it to do that. So I'll get with legal on that. We have Florida League of Cities this week from the 10th of August through the 12th in Orlando. I know some of you are attending, some of you are board members, so I know you leave out tomorrow. That's why we changed the date from tomorrow to today. And then I'll bring back the Palm Beach County League of Cities luncheon. I take it everybody wants to attend, so I'll book us all again. And we have questions into the Inspector General on finance, and they've replied with some things that we need to adjust and bring back as policies to commission to approve. So I'll get those out to us by the next meeting. Our next commission meeting is August 22nd, regular meeting at 6 p.m. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. And do the city attorney has a report? If so,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report today.
thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to the future agenda items of commissioners, if any commissioner has a item that they would like to have as a future agenda item. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on.
Question. Well, we have to put, since Ms. Perez didn't show up today, in reference to the contract with the city manager, do we have to put that up for a future agenda item, or we can just continue just like that? Can we just put it for future agenda item?
Okay. Okay. So you want, you're
Yes.
making that?
Oh, I'd like to, yeah, I had put in a motion. I'd like to put a motion to add the city manager's contract for our next meeting.
I'll second that for in the discussion. It has been moved by Commissioner.
What are we discussing specifically? Or is this just a general?
His contract, just in general, his contract, we'll discuss it. Because we still have to hear from Ms. Perez on her evaluation.
Okay.
So it won't be fair that she doesn't voice out her opinion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gonzalez and seconded by the mayor to add a future agenda items, which hopefully will be at the next commission meeting, the continuation of the city manager contract discussion. Calling for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed unanimous. We'll have the continuation of the discussion of city manager contract at our next commission meeting. Any other considerations? Hearing none, we'll move to the commission's comments for the good of the order, if there are any. We'll start with Commissioner Vice Mayor Mervin.
Sorry. Mayor Bab, hold on, Mayor Bab. My comments tonight is, you listen to the, and this is not taken up for Mr. Lucas or for anybody, but just what's right. We had a city manager here almost a year prior to, right after Mr. Lucas first came. I think he was here 45 days. And I think they fired him and they let him go. 45 days. We had got another city manager here and was here over a year, about a year. We asked for him to be evaluated. He never brought his, they never brought out anything as far as his evaluation. We had an attorney here that rerouted the whole commission. And I'm saying that because we had a commission here. They did not ask not one question prior to the floating docks, which was prior, as the people says, 20 years deteriorated in that lake. 20 years. No one questioned it. No one got up here and badmouth, not one other person said why it wasn't done. The city manager's office is open for every commissioner here, and I think communication works both ways. And for me, whether I like him or not, or it's not about like, it's about what your job is. I can't expect him to always call me and say, well, this is that and this is that. Because it's my job also, once a week, twice a week, or whenever, that you can go inside the city. That's one thing the commission have an open door policy. Can go in there at any time. Even if they don't go in the door, they can make a phone call, set up a meeting time, or whatsoever with the city manager. So I think it works both ways. I don't think that it's like where, oh, he just have that one particular, he's just gonna do just what that one says. I totally disagree with that. I think how you approach it, how you go in there with it, maybe because that's anybody. If you come in there trying to tell me what to do and trying to degrade me in my office, I don't know what you expect for anyone to do. But again, for 1 year, he's been here 1 year, whether it was him or whether it was somebody else sitting there 1 year. Even if Mr. Thompson was still sitting here, we would not have been able to expect, even if he was still here, to get everything completed within 1 year. He sat there for a year and did not bring up one city project. Not one. Mayor, can I please have the floor and not the resident, please? Not one city project. Not one city project did this city manager bring forth. Not one. He came in with the attorney, pulled every rank from the mayor, told the mayor, you just a commissioner, you don't have the right to do anything. Put the city commission over signing checks within the city. Did a whole lot of stuff that was way out of line for the city of Pahokee. Did a whole lot of stuff. Not one time he came here and worked with the whole commission. He himself stated he's only the city manager for Sarah Perez and Juan Gonzalez. He personally stated that. He stated that. He didn't have an open door policy for the Mayor Bab, Commissioner Mervin, or Commissioner Gonzalez, Derek Bolden. I think it was Regina. Was it Regina? Well, yeah, but those were the three that he was the commission for. He put a city commissioner over the mayor. He put him over the mayor. And nothing we could have been done about that. These projects, that Barfield Highway came along in, I think, 2017. 2017, yes, of the funding. Yes, we got funding, and within we didn't get any other funding since that time. since that time. You don't have to tell them to hold on, Juan. I'm telling the truth. Not one funded since that time. We said, oh, well, he need to bring in funding, he need to bring in. Yes, that's his job. But for 1 year, I don't see nobody getting in that seat right here in the city of Pahokee and say, baby, in 1 year, I need you to bring in all this funding. I need you to make sure the city is turned around in 1 year. I don't see that. For one, it's a whole lot of issues with it. We have deteriorating roads that been like over 20, Barfield been like that 20, 25, 30 years. 20 to 25, 30 years. And you still have Commissioner sits here, oh, he want progress in the city, progress to move on. But every time the project come up, they vote no. What do you think is going to happen to the project if you vote no on the project? The people stop. It stops. You guys, even when Ms. Adams saying before he came, to put every project back on task, it wasn't no easy job to do to bring in people. They won't even come back to the city. They didn't even want to come back here. We put out phase 4 project as a bid. If I'm misquoting Ms. Adams, please correct me. It went out for a bid 30 to 60 days. Not one person, contractor, bidded on it. Why? They did not want to come to the city of Pahokee. Then we get one to bid, still didn't turn in all the paperwork. So the project still laying dormant. It's not, and for us to be able to govern the city, we never praise we always bashing the city workers need to do this. The city, yeah, I believe there might be some improvement that needs to be done, but give them some praise. I don't think, like the Public Works Department, those people work out in that sun, and it is extremely hot. But instead of we backing our staff, we bashing our staff. And so then we talk about morale is down. Morale is way down. They talk about the average pay for the employees, $70,000, $80,000. That ain't no. That's no money. That ain't no money. Just think about $70,000. Just think about 70,000. Mayor Babb, if you can please stop, continue this, please. They cannot be talking in the city commission meeting, Mayor. Please.
You talking about me?
If you're doing it, yes.
You do it over there all night. You sat there and talk.
Mayor Babb, can you please?
Talk to who? Talk to who?
Please stop this, Mayor Babb.
I'm trying to figure
Get
out
out
your
of here before y'all go to clown. I'll see y'all later. I see y'all later.
Mayor Babb, and our budget is a $4 million budget for this city. $4 million. That's almost. I'm talking to a physician the other day. He was asking about $4 million.
You say what you want to say to people, can't nobody say that to you, but you gonna be stopped. Trust you, he can't put me out, he put Robert Love out.
He's leaving, he's leaving.
Hold on, Sarah. Let me go. Hold on.
Tell who you talking to? It's ridiculous.
$4 million.
Don't talk about that on Facebook.
This city is $4 million budget in this
It's
city.
actually 5, though. I'm not trying to.
Well, even, ma'am, that's a slap in the face for a city to run. When you just heard $600,000 goes straight to your police department. $500,000 go to Emilio for trash pickup. That's half of your budget right there. That's half of your budget. Then you got your staff, you got your to run your city. What do you have really left besides if you don't, oh, we need to generate funds? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But you tell me, you've been here long enough, 27 years. You tell me how they're going to just generate it just like that, Mayor, without you coming together. But we can't come together. We like the city can't move because we fight it up here. It's right up here. We so divided up here. It ain't about the city. It ain't about the citizens. It ain't about the person. They have been. It's about the things. The problem is we cannot work together. Tell me one proposal that we as a commission work together and say we're going to do this as a commission. We can't even get a sign put up for one because if you bring it up, they vote no. If I bring it up, they vote no. Board bring it up, they vote no.
Commissioner Murray, it's a waste time. Let them go to the next
But just to say and just to no, there's some issues issues that, not issues, there's some concerns that I go, but you know what I do? I said, Mr. Lucas, I need to come see you in your office. Because there's some concerns. And I never, every complaint that I got from a citizen that I went to him, he tried to address it. It takes a process. You can't just go out and address everything within the same day. It's a process. We can't even get potholes done. I'm just saying, it's just, we need to give somebody a real chance. Let them work diligently and give them a real, and we try to support it to get it done. And to try to get it done. We really do. We don't work hand in hand with the man. We don't. Some go in there trying to tell him what to do on his job. Some out there on the construction site trying to tell the engineer that what they should be doing, and they the engineer. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Mayor, Ms. Maria says she been calling all night, and nobody won't answer the phone. She been trying to get in all night, so that's why she called me. Y'all ain't answering
There's
the
no
phone.
miss
Well,
call.
that's not allowed no more.
There's no
because
miss
she
call
did
on
from
this
the
phone.
beginning of the meeting that she's gonna be on the phone. You can't just call in because you're hearing something on social media and now want to call in. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Non-citizen.
Commissioner Bolden.
Where do I start?
Follow the law, man.
Like I said, being a new person, I think I thought it was important to come in and really observe and really kind of learn, watch and learn. I know these evaluations are supposed to be objective, however, they appear to be very subjective, and I'm not sure that we even know the difference sometimes. Supposed to be based on actual evidence of a person performing on their job, not how you feel about them. And, you know, that's a reflection of us. You know, we have to really kind of raise our standard. I think
There's no miss call on this.
sometimes we don't understand what our role is as a commissioner. It's not to tell someone what to do. The commission as a whole gives directives. Not individuals. Like I said, I meet with Mr. Lucas all the time. I don't tell the man how to do his job. I go in there to seek to understand how it works and if it makes sense. Mr. Lucas is here quite often 7, 8 o'clock. My mom lives right down the street. So are these staff members, also here 7, 8, 9 o'clock quite often. Trainings. I don't think I've ever known a time where so many people were actually attending trainings. So many staff members were actually being sent to trainings to get better at their jobs, learn better ways of doing things. If you ride around Pahokee, you can see the work. You can see the progress. And I don't think a few people speak for most of the citizens here in the city of Pahokee. The people that I run into are really happy with the progress being made in the city. It's not about liking a person or not like them. Some of them don't like the city manager personally. That's a personality thing. It has nothing to do with somebody's job. Because I'm gonna tell you what'll happen, and you can mark this day. You get rid of Mr. Lucas, you're gonna have somebody else come in here that also knows their job. You're gonna have the same problem if you have not pulled yourself together and actually understood what your role is in this city as a commission, on this commission. It has to change up here. And it doesn't matter who's over here, who's over there sitting in that seat. You're gonna have the same problem over and over and over again until we get a solid 5 commissioner people that put Pahokee first, that love the city of Pahokee first. Listen, I don't have to like you, but if you're doing your job, I have to give you credit for doing that. It's not about like. It's about whether you're performing on your job and doing what you're supposed to be doing. We're asking somebody to work in the past to fix our issues of over 4 decades of deterioration in the city. We're asking them to clean that up, deal with present issues, and to project Pahokee into the future at the same time. That's what we're asking any city manager that comes in here. That's what we're asking them to do. Over 40 years. We're asking them to clean up the stuff from the past, deal with present issues, and project the city into the future at the same time. And no matter who's sitting over there, they're going to have to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I'll say this. You get somebody better than him, when you get involved in day-to-day operations, they're going to report you. Because I'm going to be honest, Mr. Luke should have done that a long time ago. So it doesn't matter to me. But I see what's going on, and a lot of people who have sense know exactly what's going on. I've seen abuse of power. I've seen hypocrisy. Even in commission meetings, some of us actually admit to getting involved in day-to-day operations, and we don't care. I see people colluding. We see all of these things. At what point are we going to raise our standard, start being objective? If you think somebody's not doing well, what do you back it up with? What evidence do you back that up with? We're not doing those types of things. We're making decisions. We're voting for and against people based on whether we like them. And that is not what's best for the city of Pahokee. Whether I like you or not, if what you say makes sense, if what you say is good for Pahokee, then I'm gonna vote in favor. If what you say does not, in my opinion, I'm gonna vote against. It's that simple. Has nothing to do with any person up here liking or disliking, from my standpoint. But guys, over and over and over again, we get violations. We get involvement in day-to-day operations, and for whatever reason, nothing gets done. For whatever reason, enough of this stuff is not being reported. And the citizens see it, and they talk about it. They see it. They see the meetings at a particular place all the time. They see you guys meeting. They see it. I've seen it. I don't know what is, well, actually I do know it's going to take. It's going to take a solid 5 commission to come up here and do things the right way. That's, in a nutshell, that's what this is about. These people work extremely hard. These people work extremely hard day in and day out. Oh, yes, we're understaffed. So a lot of times you have people that have to do multiple things. Any organization, when they're short-staffed, they cross-train and they do things like that. That's normal. Until we can develop a strong workforce, we're going to kind of have that issue. But like I said, low standards. We try to hold people to high standards, but we don't model high standards ourselves. Case in point, and this is not to pick on anybody, but this is just the reality of it. The city manager's evaluation was due in February. We had 2 commissioners, didn't do theirs in 5 months. 5 months had not done it. And then all of a sudden, now the evaluation and the contract is important. It's obvious what's going on here. And I do have questions, because one thing I know is if you practice something, you'll get really good at it, even if it's a not so good behavior. And if you do it long enough, it'll become a part of you, and it'll seep into all kinds of areas of your life. Mr. Gonzalez, did you physically turn in your evaluation on June 14th?
Oh, I didn't. You know that.
You did or you didn't?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Oh, June the 14th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Did you physically turn in just yours?
Did I turn yours in?
Did you physically
Did I
turn?
turn yours in?
Did you
Did I
physically
turn yours
turn in
in?
just? Oh,
I'm only one individual.
excuse me, Mr. Manuel. Mr. Manuel. Did Mr. Gonzalez physically turn his evaluation, Mr. Lucas, in? Oh, you want it? Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
Did Mr. Gonzalez physically turn in his evaluation?
Yes.
Did Mr. Gonzalez physically turn in anybody else's evaluation?
Yes.
Who did Mr. Gonzalez, what other evaluation did he submit?
Commissioner Perez.
Okay. Now, let me
Was
ask you.
Commissioner
No,
Perez evaluation, was it sealed? Was the evaluation sealed?
No.
The envelope was sealed.
No.
yes.
Both of them were sealed, thank you.
That's neither here nor there. All right? As a commissioner, even the appearance of impropriety is an issue. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what we see is not only just now this goes in line with the meetings. Like I said, y'all don't think people see you guys? People see you guys meeting up. Some days you leave the door open and they can hear your conversations. I'm serious. We have to start raising our standards up here, because if we don't, it doesn't matter who sits over there. You could put the media guy back in that seat and he's gonna have the same problem. And at the end of the day, it's about our city making progress, and we're putting little petty things in front of that. Some people would rather sink the whole ship. Some people are so comfortable with mediocrity and poor standards that when somebody tries to take something to another level, they get uncomfortable. Or maybe they just don't want it to be you. Maybe that's what it is. But either way, guys, we have to do better as a commission. We're trying to place the blame on the city manager. It doesn't matter what city manager is over there. This commission's still gonna have the same problems. So we're either going to honor our citizens, the ones who voted us in, by doing the right thing, because after all, that's why they voted for you. To come up here and to do the right thing so that Pahokee can move forward. That's why they voted for us. And some of us got in, and we betrayed that. That's just honesty, that's truth, and that's evident in our actions and in the things that we do on a regular basis as commissioners. The hypocrisy coming from some people is laughable. Just all honesty, it's laughable. Now all of a sudden, this is important. When we didn't think to meet a deadline, an extension, and a few more months, now it's important though. And we, with our low standards, we allowed them to submit their evaluations.
Yep, we did.
I voted against that.
We did.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, we all have to do a better job at serving our citizens. That's it. That's it. And a lot of us that come here smiling, we have wrongdoing as well. More hypocrisy. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. But we have to do a better job, guys. We're gonna have this problem 10 years from now if we don't fix this, guys. We either fix ourselves, step down, get voted out when the election comes, whatever. But at the end of the day, we need 5 people up here who are gonna put Pahokee first. And that's it. It ain't about me. It ain't about a single person. We have to come together and move the city forward. And if we don't have that up here, it doesn't matter. I'm done.
I know we all had an opportunity to evaluate the city manager, and to be honest, there were 2 individuals who failed to turn in their papers according to human resources as far as the deadline. It would be nice though if we would have noted on that if your evaluation is not turned in by a certain date, it would not be counted. That wasn't on there. So when they're okay. Also, We have individuals who have rated the city manager very high, and nothing wrong with that. That's their observation. A naked eye would say, I'm doing it because I like you.
Exactly.
Or if you get 10, 5, 11 fours,
Yeah.
and the city manager from the other 4 don't get not 1 5, you can say in some institution, the very high score is deleted and the very low score, so you can get the medium how this individual is portrayed.
Yep.
But that's all individual, how you do things. I'm one who have been here a while. I have never interfered. We talking if I'm talking? So you want to face the mic? Are you talking or I'm talking? No, I don't. I'm just saying allow me to make my comments. That's all. You're throwing me off by talking. I'm done with the comments.
I have something to say. The hypocrisy up here from these two individuals is beyond real. How are you going to come up here and say we're supposed to turn in our evaluations and we're late before 4 or 5 months, right? You say we're supposed to be punctual, we're supposed to stick by what's told, right? Yet you have a vice mayor here who was here since 2018, 2019, 5 years, did not push the issue about the docks, and all of a sudden they're pushing for an emergency. The hypocrisy. How come you don't bring that up and say, hey, you're right here back then when Chandler was here. How come you didn't push this issue? Well, all of a sudden right now. But yet you approved to get extensions. You approved to get extensions. Now, in reference to saying that dealing with day-to-day operations, I call Palm Beach County Board of Ethics, ask them how many times I called them before I make a decision and ask questions. I'm not in violation, so you can point the finger all you want. I don't tell nobody what to do. I don't give them an idea what to do unless I'm asked. Okay?
City attorney. Try to advise you.
City attorney.
You was stepping on ethics.
City attorney Abner.
Yes,
You cannot, as a city commissioner, you cannot give orders. City attorney Abner.
Abner.
Orders to do a job. You can't ask questions about projects.
You told the city manager who to call.
I told him to check up on it. Did I not tell you to check up on it? That force you to say, go ahead, Mr. Carlos is right there.
City Attorney Abner, is it proper for a city commissioner to approach workers on their site to tell them what to do on their job?
See, that's not the question. I didn't tell them what to do.
Is it proper?
Get it clear.
To approach them?
Don't
at all?
come up here lying and change twisting my words around. I didn't tell them what to do.
Is it proper to approach?
That's your issue. Okay, first of all, I never gave them an order what to do. I asked them, how far are we along? Why, I'm pretty sure our road was a little bit wider. Can you check that, please, to make sure? Because it's not wide enough, because other citizens are telling me this, and he knows about it, because I talked to him multiple times.
You're proving my point.
And I had him to go talk to that in behalf of the city. Listen, Carlos right there, I had him to talk in behalf of the city, not me. I had him go speak with them.
Is that proper?
I'm the one.
Is that proper?
Talking to them directly.
Is that proper?
Well, I believe that I can see some concerns with that, but I'm going to defer and allow Attorney Norris to address that.
Okay.
When she gets back next week.
Okay. And another thing is, you're over here talking about trying to make me look bad, but yet on your birthday, this is already known to the public, right after the meeting, you waited for everybody to walk out. On your birthday, you threatened the mayor in front of Ms. Mervin, all the commission, the attorney, the city manager, city clerk, the 2 officers sitting right there.
Okay, Mayor Babb.
You got in his face.
Watch this.
And you said, see what happens. Did you?
Mayor Babb, did I threaten you? Did I threaten you, Mayor Babb? Thank you.
Mayor Babs, did he not tell you and yell at you and say, if you ever do it again, try me and do it again?
Let me tell you.
He got in your face, point your finger. You tell him, and you tell him, well, I would appreciate if you stopped pointing your finger.
Let me tell you.
Did you or not?
Yeah.
Mayor Babs, now's your chance to let the public know what happened that
Let me
night.
say this here. This part is really the
But it's a disrespect to the mayor.
No?
It's a disrespect to the mayor.
Let's see it on a good
not
for the order.
The mayor just admitted I never threatened him.
Tried to speak anyway, so I'll entertain at this time a motion for the adjournment of the meeting, if it's okay. Get a second? Second. Okay. Been moved by Vice Mayor and second by Commissioner Bolden for the adjournment of the meeting. Call for question, hearing none. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolden?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mayor Babel?
Yes. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.